Boise State Esports Arena. We're here today for the Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2 Finals. With the top 8 teams from a 6-week Swiss bracket have advanced to compete for a $1,200 prize pool. Since 1941, the USO has been the nation's leading organization to serve the men and women in the U.S. military and their families throughout their time in uniform from the moment they join through their assignments and deployments. And as they transition back to their communities, the USO is always by their side. Fish and Baratel here getting ready to call all of the action.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
catch you up to speed. As we said, there was a 6-week Swiss bracket from about 15 teams that built our top 8. Our top 8 now will all play today in a single elimination tournament where the winner will go home with, I believe, $600. And then there's a total of $1,200 in prizes. So this is going to be a lot of fun. It is a 2v2 ARAM Baratel, and it's a little different than maybe some of the ARAM events you have seen in the past. It is going to be first team to destroy the inhibitor will be declared the winner. No first kill, CS amount, first tower. It is first inhibitor to fall, and every round will be a best of 3, so you get some chances to come back. So it's a little different than we've usually seen. I think it's going to lead to some very interesting strategies on how to eliminate the inhibitor more than anything else.
Yeah, and besides it, from that being on Howling Abyss, normally you would think, oh, whatever champion I get, that's what I'm sticking with. No, we got a draft.
Woo!
We got some bans. We got some picks going on. So that means both these teams facing off in the Howling Abyss will do some research, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see kind of what strategies were built up through that 6-week Swiss bracket. You know, we didn't see it. Maybe some teams had a certain strategy. Because, again, with Swiss bracket, maybe if you're the A seed, you never may play the top team. This might be the first time you play each other. So, as you saw on the screen, $1,200 in prizes. It'll be $600 for first place per team, $400 per second, and then $200 for third. So you could be walking out of here with $300, maybe $100. Not too shabby at all. I'm excited to see. I was looking just through the OPGGs.
Yeah.
Pretty impressed. These guys were a lot more talented than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like we're going to have some real fun on our hands. But again, there's no ranked for ARAM, and there's no ranked for draft ARAM. So I'm a little curious.
Thank goodness, because people would lord that over your head regardless. Like, oh, yeah, well, I am a diamond ARAM Smurf, so sorry. I want that Lux champion instead. And that's the thing to consider. You know, what is popular in normal ARAM may not be the kind of pick here for this 2v2 tournament. You have to start considering what's powerful at that initial level 3. You have, like, the champions that – what's the most powerful champion to you that has everything except their ultimate? I'm thinking, like, Lucian or something.
I think you and I talked about it. Lucian Nami, that usually kind of appears a lot in the, I would say, like the normal ARAM 1v1 or 2v2s, where again it's first kill or forced tower. This is how the team stacked up, by the way, after that Swiss stage we were talking about. So these are our top 8 teams here. We see Agamon at the top, so we got to keep an eye on them. But we're going to start in the middle there, Barrett. So we're going to start with JoJo Rabbits taking on Let Karthus Scale in the 4 seed versus the 5 seed matchup. Here is your bracket, of course. So yeah, we'll start right in the middle there. JoJo's Rabbits versus Let Karthus Scale. Maybe they ban Karthus.
You know, yeah, it might be a thing.
I'm so torn though, because again, you're not drafting a champion just for level 3 for a quick first blood. I mean,
no,
inhibitor's probably what, level 10, level 11, depending on how you push.
Yeah.
Do you draft wave clear and just shove into the tower repeatedly?
Do you get like Tristana, who just takes down towers like they're nobody's business? You know, all these kinds of things we have to consider. I'm sure there's been a meta between the Swiss bracket that's kind of emerged. You had mentioned a very funny idea of just inting Scion. You get level 6 and you just go into the tower. It's possible.
You do it. A sizable chunk of damage, probably what, 40, 50% of the tower.
Yeah, and if you get the demolish in your kind of frenzied zombie form, that's got to be like 60% of the tower's health.
Yeah, I mean, as long as your team can get first tower, so maybe you draft it alongside a wave clear. It's going to be very interesting. Like I said, I think as you pointed out, there's probably a meta that's been built. We'll probably catch on to it as we start out here. But again, at the end of the day, $1,200 prize is getting handed out. But it's enough of Baratel and I giving you the keys.
Yeah.
Let's get to Doc's keys to the game today as presented by the USO. Draft wisely, know your power spikes, play around your duo, and keep track of the cooldowns, especially the ultimates if it's something like a Scion.
Yeah.
Demolish, a little harder to track, but again, something you've got to keep your eye on if you're looking to punish them. Doc's keys are brought to us by the USO. Since 1941, the USO has been the nation's leading organization to serve the men and women in the U.S. military and their families throughout their time in uniform from the moment they join to their assignments and deployments and as they transition back to their communities. The USO is always by their side. Almost ready here to hop into round number 1. And I'm curious to see who's going to come out on top here.
Yeah. I was just thinking of something funny as well. If someone ends up drafting Scion for the pick a Nivea. Have them run into a wall.
Not an awful idea. There's a lot of counters here. So just as you said, we're going to have some picks and some bans here.
It's going to look a little weird because there's nothing existing in League of Legends that's formatted for this.
Exactly.
So we had to do something special for you guys.
So ignore the roles on your screen there. What you're looking for, everything to the left of that red bar on the right side under me and to the right under Baratel on the outside, basically. Those are the bans. So Ziggs is the first ban.
Right here.
Yeah, that is the ban. And then on the inside right there,
boom,
there's going to be the picks.
Yeah,
so
outer 3, bans. Inner 2, picks.
Ziggs, that Ziggs flows into what you talk about usually. Yeah. I mean, we had a 3v3 tournament here at Boise State, I want to say a couple months ago, where it was ARAM. It was more first tower, but it was Ziggs, Tristana were basically meta.
Don't
because
remind me.
They just slammed the towers incredibly hard. Meanwhile, the Soraka ban...
What counters Karthus? Soraka.
I guess that's fair, but there's not as many people for you to hit with your Q to keep your health high.
People.
Yeah, it's a little harder for Soraka to just spam her Q like you can in normal ARAM. Leona going to get banned away here as well. I think that's a very solid pick. Just a lot of CC.
Yeah, start considering like maybe the Hook champions, Nautilus, Blitzcrank, Thresh. Might see some favoritism towards the ban list because, you can't really defend your tower if you're not alive.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the Nidalee, another champion. I know in normal ARAM, you're just chucking spears. Of course, again, there's half as many people for you to hit. There's the Tristana, so I'd say the two main power pushers are both banned away, usually on the same team. So maybe even Ziggs Tristana would be a matchup that we might even see later on if a team can get lucky. But getting that through 6 bans might be a little tough. There's the Nautilus. There's another one of the Hook champs you were talking about.
Yeah.
Very weird bans for JoJo because you get Tower Pusher and then 2 supports.
2 engages,
yeah.
There's some pretty powerful engages there, though. What's interesting to consider is with having limited amounts of players, just 2 on your team, the attrition, the damage that you put onto your enemies is going to be more likely to stick.
True.
So you can just cheese out like an AP Maokai or something, throw those saplings in the bush under their tower and say, look, whatever you're going to take for damage, it's going to stick, and we can dive whenever we want.
Well, there's our first pick. It's a champion you talked about. It is the Lucian. It's going to be met by Veigar and Gnar. I'm curious if this is the Nami or not. I think it makes a lot of sense, especially since you ban the engage supports. That can kind of get in your face.
Do you play Nami into Veigar, though? That sounds like you're asking for it.
I mean, I think, you have to, right? Like you kind of committed to the Lucian Nami.
Yeah.
You have to just finish out the combo. So we get
That's
Lucian
fair.
Nami versus Veigar and Gnar. Again, this is the quarterfinals here. JoJo taking on Let Karthus Scale, and it is first inhibitor to fall if you missed it here in our Army Esports community 2v2s in League of Legends presented by the USO. So it's not the normal ARAM rules that you might be used to if you played in like an in-house tournament or one of those fun lands. So again, I like Lucian Nami. If you're getting first tower, you got to get a little bit more than first tower.
Yeah, I also really like, obviously Lucian Nami is like a quintessential pick, especially from level 3 forward, which you start at. What's more interesting, though, is I like the fact that Let Karthus Scale is drafted for, there's not a lot of walls, so let's just make one. And then throw the cage around them, put the Gnar bar inside, and have fun.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned because Gnar's biggest weakness is, of course, when he's baby Gnar, and you're always fighting as opposed to being in lane, and your team can plan around team fighting when
you can't TP when your Gnar bar is getting 100% and get there with big Gnar. They know you're coming.
Exactly. So I am a little concerned about the Gnar, but I do like, as you said, you put the Veigar cage around him, you throw the Gnar in there, you catch the Nami, she's probably dead.
Yeah.
And speaking of teleport, what summoners are you bringing here? Is it Snowball Flash? Is it Night Flash?
It's got to be Snowball for Gnar. That would make the most sense, because even if you get the Veigar cage and Gnar doesn't have the bounce combo ready to go, you got the Snowball to back it up. As far as everything else, you have to consider whether or not it's worth taking a Flash. Usually when you see like 1v1s, you'll take like Ignite Exhaust, just the straight combat summoners.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see.
Yeah, maybe barrier flash for the Lucian potentially here. But again, this is a best of 3, so in one game you might say, okay, look, Lucian Nami's stronger than we thought. Maybe that's what we just take off the table here. But I'm excited to get into it, kind of see what these teams have been thinking of. Again, there was a 6-week Swiss bracket leading us to this point.
Right.
These two teams smack dab in the middle. JoJo, the 4 seed, Let Karthus scale, the 5 seed. And we're about to kick off game number 1 here on the Howling Abyss in just a few moments.
They didn't draft Karthus, which is kind of sad, but they did draft a scaler in the Vigar.
They banned Soraka, and he's been like, oh, that counters Karthus. Like, maybe we're going to see Karthus. And then there's like, nah.
No, not against Lucian. That's another thing to consider, too, is if the very minimal amount of crowd control from Let Karthus scale misses, Lucian's going to have a field day.
Yeah, I mean, Lucian is just going – I mean, the Lucian-Nami combo is so insane for
really
a reason.
Strong,
he's going to – get a lot of poke damage onto that. Yeah, so Vigar probably has to land the cage, but then the problem is you have to land the cage, then Gnar can get in, then Gnar has to Gnar them into a wall after the cage fades. If you just Gnar them, they're just going to hit the cage.
You just Gnar them into the wall of the cage. It's like not optimal, sure, but you could do it.
Yeah,
I don't know how mini Gnar plays into these two. Because he doesn't have the health. He doesn't threaten anything with CC. Lucian can just dodge away from the only CC has, which is a slow from the boomerang. Like, Gnar can't step up.
Luckily, he's ranged, so he's just. I assume we're just going to see a farm fest from Vigar and Gnar try and scale with that Vigar. I do like that. You know, obviously you can't back, so Vigar is going to be the only one passively gaining meaningful stats as long as he's able to CS efficiently.
Come on, guys, get the Ornn in here. Build your items every 180 seconds.
Hey, just save up for a while. I mean,
it's buy a Warmog straight up. It's
I don't think you have enough health for the passive to take.
You won't, not at all.
I'm excited to see this again. This is the first time I've seen inhibitor is the win condition because again, usually I'm used to drafting like first tower, first blood.
Yeah, if it was like first tower, first blood, Lucian Nami, 100%. Yeah. But it's changed. It goes into that level, at least level 6. If not beyond to level 10, 12, when you can actually get access to the inhibitor.
Yeah, you've got to take down 2 turrets. Wait, 2 turrets and then the inhibitor.
Does Nami build AP or does she go support?
Probably
gotta go support, right?
Yeah, you probably
if you're like confident in yourself, you go Imperial Mandate.
Yeah, exactly.
You land those bubbles like it's nobody's business.
Well, we get in
and there's first blood.
Yeah, there's already a death. The Gnar died before we could even find the game. And
Flash exhaust on the side of Let Karthus scale. Flash cleanse and then barrier. Yeah, barrier heal. That makes a lot of sense for support. Hey, look, it's Lucian. Level 3.
Oh, Bubble's going to land on Gnar as well. You know, maybe JoJo's Rabbits knew what they were doing.
This is a pretty strong duo. I mean, that shouldn't be underestimated. Oh, it's just so easy.
Well, I guess I know what the Game 2 bans are going to be, Baratel.
Yeah, that's fair. But to consider, no tower on damage, or no damage on tower just yet.
It's only a matter of time.
That's fair. A lot of chip damage. They've been able to afford probably nothing. Maybe a potion here or there. And that's been quickly used because this damage from Lucian is just skyrocketing right now. There's a cage.
Cage does land. They have to pop the barrier. Does look like there's a demolish on, I believe, the Nami. So that'll be something to keep an eye on.
It's like revitalize and demolish then.
Yeah, I mean, demolish makes sense for really every.
Yeah, you like make your champion that doesn't do damage to towers do damage to towers. I think that's a wise choice.
See, the Gnar almost does have full range, but he's not 6, so there's really nothing he can do about it yet.
The fleet footwork on Gnar is a little question mark to me, but you're trying to sustain through this early part of the game. Maybe that burst of healing and movement speed will get you in position for, Mega Gnar a little bit easier. No snowball though. It's just the exhaust flash for both the side of Let Karthus scale.
I would have liked seeing Vigar probably bring barrier.
Some sort of protection, yeah.
I think that's a good choice. Especially because I do like the cleanse by Lucian though. I think that by 12 up is a great pick. Because now it neutralizes the whole put the cage around him, let Gnar get in.
Right.
Because you have to put the cage around him, force him to cleanse, then put the cage around him again. Oh, Lucian's got level 6, has the culling. Gonna hold
Bubble
on to it.
way wide there.
This is your chance if you're let cards to scale. Lucian's
Incredibly low. About 80% on the Gnar bar here. He's going to look for a bounce opportunity, but he's waiting for the Vigar cage first, I think.
Nami's slowly running out of mana. She does have the heal. Lucian walled off by the cage.
Yeah. I think that was their moment to go. If they grasped onto Lucian, they would have went full tilt, but then they have to consider that there's a cleanse there. And that might not be the only one, too. I mean, Nami full well has the opportunity to build, you know, the Mikhail's Crucible. You can always get QSS. Crowd control, if Lucian does not want to be crowd controlled, will not be crowd controlled.
This is some great rage management here by Darius.
Yeah.
He's kept this perfectly at that high 90s mark, not auto-attacking to make it so it doesn't automatically trigger. They want the engage, but as you pointed out, Baratel, when are they going to get it? There's the
put him over? No, he's fine.
mobility of Lucian. He just dashes out. I think you got to go in here if you're Gnar. You can't.
Okay, they're going to pull it anyway.
Olin comes out as well. Nice title charm to land. Mega Gnar is going to be active on the next ability. Exhaust, but the Gnar misses. They do get a stun on to Danny. The cage goes down, but all of the important CC missed. Baratel, there's the ult.
Yep.
Flash cleansed a little bit too late, Lucian, but I don't think you can push into Nami very well. You're both very low.
Yeah, not the best at wave clearing. You do have a cannon, it's pretty healthy in this wave, so you get some chip damage. It's time to see whether or not they have Demolish as well.
I think, oh,
okay, taking tower shots is not going to be a wise choice.
There's no heal up. Lucian's back alive. And
Nullifying Orb on Nami? Okay, that's big respect for the 2v2.
Well, Lucian's got a Kraken Slayer, by the way. I mean, this is double kill city.
They can't even heal up enough to defend this off.
I mean, Nami was there, but that felt like that should have been a suicide of the tower moment.
Just to cash in on the shut. Well, it wasn't even a shutdown, but yeah, you're right.
You need to reset your health, though.
Yeah. Because now both of you are just going to go down and win the pushes on
There it is. Yep, one down. The tower saves Darius, but now he has to defend. You have to probably give up this tower.
I think he's going to force long range to build Narbar and then fight for it. There's a Demolish.
Oh, Demolish is going to do a decent chunk, about a quarter of the turret's health. Gnar trying to build up rage.
12 up, really respecting the potential fight afterwards. Not using a lot of abilities until the very end. Trying to keep the double auto attacks to a minimum until they're ready to fight. There's the Gnar bar.
Unfortunately, yeah, Gnar did get triggered, as you were just pointing out, trying to defend the tower, but it didn't quite work out. Cage does go down. Here's the chance.
That's
Gnar to the wall for Lucian. Can they get the second stun? They
need the primordial burst.
Reset the stone. No,
the
back forward. At least a kill there for Vigar.
Oh, the Evercross.
You should get a kill here. This should be
free. Proc. There's the barrier. He's going to dodge the bubble, but he misses. Dami does not have the damage. Wait. Just keeping him alive? Oh, he's getting stacks. Oh. He farmed extra stacks of AP. Now he suicides? Okay. Well, I don't know about not. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't wait long enough for your... 15
seconds. I'm going to start saying it now. 15 seconds. That's the minimum you have to wait until you can just throw yourself into a tower, into minions. Whatever.
And you had the primordial burst. I mean, I know last time we were talking about suiciding, but I don't know if that was the right one. Darius needs the healing packs.
What did he get for dying? I don't see.
Bowling?
Boots? Bowling misses. That's a big winning wave. Here's the exhaust, but the damage from just cracking so high. He's waiting for Mega. If he gets Mega here, he can actually win this, but Nami's coming in to get the heals going down.
It looks like Vigar got tier 2 boots and a ruby crystal.
Not worth.
For dying.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Everfrost misses. Nice flash away. Jump in, Gnar. Can you get your combo? They do stun. There's one.
Okay. So, you know, unfortunately, the fact that it's got to be the Lucian show means that Lucian does have to play pretty darn near perfect. They layered that crowd control perfectly. The Gnar into the wall with the stun from the Gnar as well. Force the cleanse extremely early. Okay, he's waiting to 15. He doesn't. Oh! Okay, perfect.
I mean, these resets are great, except for the fact that
you're not getting any tower damage.
Yeah, and you're getting a Sheen.
Got the Sheen already. I don't know what they're building.
Triforce, right?
I think it might. I think it's going to end up being. No, it's not going to be Triforce. What's the name of it? Stridebreaker.
Oh, yeah,
You
maybe.
can go Stridebreaker, so that way when you get to them, they're slowed by that 90% for that 1 second. Hopefully the Vygar damage can follow through.
Yeah, I mean,
But I feel like if that's going to be your motif, go Divine Thunder, get some extra beef and sustain, and then go Randuin or something. So that way Lucian can't just tear you up.
just taking the tower shot. Then Frost does miss, but another stun lands. Tidal Wave comes out. Exhaust going to go on Illusion. Durian trying to build this Gnar bar, picks it up, and now they have a chance to jump onto the Nami. Gnar into the wall, but it didn't quite get the stun. It's not going to matter, though. This is a dead mermaid. They pick up the ace. Now they got to push, though. They got to push.
They have to push. This time they cannot go in and just walk down the tower. Cashing in on your 1,000 gold is not worth it. It's not. You need at least to equalize the towers, and then you can go for the death.
You need to have an item. You know, if you can finish an item, then that's great.
Okay, we're seeing the beginnings for Hex Drinker coming out. There's the Michaelis I was mentioning before. We already have the Imperial Mandate. So it's up to, I mean, this Danny W hasn't had the worst bubbles.
No.
But they need to be a little bit more on par for when those exhausts come through. Say, okay, you've exhausted my main source of damage. I've bubbled you for pretty much the whole duration of exhaust.
Everfrost lands, dashes into a stun. Can they get the Mega Gnar in time? Bowling comes out.
Cancel
the
the
exhaust
bullet.
is there. Vygar
my
flash
God.
away. Mega Gnar is up. Doesn't quite land, but he picks up the kill. Now should easily be able to 1v1 this Nami. Vygar, you got to be careful. You didn't expect the heal. Nami heals to pick up a kill, but it's still Gnar getting the ace.
In the double, gonna run it in. That's
Is this?
it's a bit unfortunate. You might be able to get this with the cannon minion here with the Demolish.
Yeah.
He's got Sheen too.
Do you?
He's got to bounce for the extra attack speed now. He's not gonna get it.
Do you stay and die? If you stay, you get it, but you're dead to Lucian.
I think you have to commit.
Just attack it.
He's got more important things to do apparently.
He's gonna trigger the Gnar too.
That's a big cooldown down. He's gonna heal. I'm not sure exactly how the healing works. I'm pretty sure it's percentage based. But if it's numerical, then you don't want to be Big Gnar when you take it because you're not getting as much healing.
Does get the healing from going Gnar. The bonus health does not fade, so he's back at full life. But he might have been able to get that tower, and you know.
Fish, you want to take a peep at Vygar's items real quick?
Vygar, is that a Warmog?
It sure is, dude.
He is. You know what? He's got the Everfrost. He's
all
got
he needs.
probably enough AP.
He's just gonna keep scaling.
Yeah, he doesn't need to build AP when you just keep scaling. He does just have barely enough health to keep the proc the Warmog passive as well.
Everfrost and then the orb. What do they do? Lucian's still struggling to get that Hex Drinker online.
I think next Mega Gnars could be game for let cards to scale if they time it right. There is a cleanse up. There's basically everything up for Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, you got a question 12 and up.
Culling
use. This is a way better one than the last team fight.
Ooh, Tidal Wave gets the stun, hop away from Gnar. Exhaust does land on the Lucian.
Okay, they baited out the exhaust. There's one left, sure, but Gnar's health bar, even if he goes into Mega, will only be 50%.
I believe he did trigger Mega Flash forward, the big kill. Can they find anything onto the Lucian? There's no damage on the Vygar anymore.
I used ultimate, I think, at the beginning of that rotation, that combo.
Here we go, Demolish. Can't quite see the tower's health, but it is dropping lower and lower. Everfrost. Not sure how the Mikhail's perfectly timed on the Everfrost. As I say, it looked like Lucian just dashed through it, but that was
It did look a little weird, yeah.
That was a Mikhail's usage there. Gnar's up in 3 seconds. Turret's gonna go down. Remember, it's
go right for the
inhibitor. They're gonna
Vygar's gonna go behind.
He's trying to buy time. They're not paying attention.
They're not just gonna go for the inhib.
They gotta go for the win here. If inhib falls, it's game over.
Oh, they've overextended.
Nami gets jumped on. Bubble is dodged. Durian's gonna charge down the Nami. Vygar did flash forward. Nami falls. Everfrost doesn't pick up the kill.
They must have pull for wave clear here.
I mean, it's one attack and this tower, this tier 2 tower is dead.
Right.
Let Karthus scale.
That's mega down. That's a bunch of the Gnar's damage kind of coming up front.
Vygar's got to clear this wave. They got to try and group it up.
Luckily, there's AP scaling on tower and structure damage for some reason.
Oh, here we go. Vygar gets one attack. Gnar's taking some damage. It does fall. Nami's up in 4 seconds. If you focus the inhib, you might be able to win. Why are you attacking minions, Gnar?
He's got the divine. Just go for the team
Just
proc, my
attack
dude.
the tower, the inhibitor. Tidal
The wave
wave,
missed.
culling. Lucian's got one last chance. Vygar's trying to auto-attack here. Keep an eye on that inhibitor. Lucian might just be dead, and he is, and let Karthus scale.
They did it.
Proclaim game number 1 as the inhibitor falls, and Lucian Nami proves it's not good enough late game Baratel
Yordles.
to carry the damage that it does earlier. This tournament supported by the USO. The USO strengthens America's military service members by keeping them connected to family, home, and country throughout their service to the nation as a force behind the forces. Let Karthus scale the very impressive game number 1 win, and I think we have pretty much just said, all right, strike Lucian Nami from the books. It's great early game, but it's not good enough late game.
Unfortunately, it involves an AD carry, which are not strong right now. It's unfortunate. Unless you play immaculate.
You have to funnel onto one player, as you pointed out a couple times. As soon as Lucian was dead, the Nami just couldn't do anything.
It's floundered around like a fish.
So we do have a bracket update here to kind of take a look. Looks like the ASVAB waivers has already taken down K9 Aqua Warriors. So they're on to one of our semifinals. We have Karthus scale winning game 1. It is a best of 3. So those must have been some fast game for waivers here, but we'll see.
That's got to be a quick one, too.
That's already a scary team if you won that quickly.
Right.
But we'll see what Leth Karthus scale can do against JoJo Rabbits, because I think this is just going to be JoJo Rabbit's probably drafting a different comp. I mean, I guess you could argue maybe you ban away the Vygar or the Gnar and the Gnar instead of Leona Nautilus, because that was basically this counters Lucian Nami, but you just saw Lucian Nami can't win, so there are some things they can do. But there's a very impressive win, and I think maybe if Lucian and Nami focus the inhibitor, this could be JoJo Rabbit sitting up 1-0, though. They got distracted by the Vygar.
That's true. Yeah, they were, a few auto attacks away or something
They
like
hadn't started it, but, I mean, Lucian's, 3
Lucian's
items.
Lucian.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, when it comes down to doing structure damage, you got to have some sort of sheen. Essence Reaver is the perfect item for Lucian.
Yeah, got caught up in the, I got to build a Bloodthirster.
I liked, when it came down to it, the picks were interesting. Lucian Nami went like the typical build, like a 2v2 Summoner's Rift build, which is fine.
We were playing bot lane for JoJo's Rabbits.
It's just not what's going to work in this tournament. Having Everfrost with the Legendary Orb, the Winter's Orb, just enough HP to get your Warmogs on Vygar's second item. And then on the other side of things, Gnar did go with the Divine Sunder, and then he built Thornmail. There was no option for Lucian to do damage at that point.
Yeah, Lucian was not killing anybody. Here is the game to draft. Remember, everything on the outside are the bans. Everything on the inside are the picks. Ignore the lane markings there. Those are irrelevant for this tournament. Of course, I mean, I guess you could say you're going jungle, but it really
I'm going
matter.
mid.
We're all going mid here
actually.
in the League of Legends 2v2 for the Army Esports community presented by the USO. And it will be, the sides have flipped, so it'll be, I believe, Let Karthus scale on the blue side, JoJo's Rabbits on the red side.
I think it's wise to get the Vygar out, because there are a lot of champions that can capitalize on, yes, this stun didn't hit you, but you're also stuck in this cage. It's literally one of the best crowd controls in the game, because you don't have to hit it. Yeah, you just have to get around them.
Exactly, and it paired so well with the Gnar because the Gnar could get in. The Nautilus stays. We get Soraka Lulu, so maybe thinking JoJo Rabbits was going to continue with that bot lane comp, try something else. Maybe Lulu very strong in 2v2s, and they banned the Nami, so 3 support bans for Let Karthus scale.
I don't think you can go Lucian again, although there is a world in which, like, more cohesive than Lucian Nami is the dreaded Lulu Kog'Maw.
Well, Lulu's banned, though.
Right, but I'm saying, like, that's why they banned it. Because in the realm of their thoughts, it's like, well, if this is how they like to play, put all your resources in one basket. Lulu Kog'Maw, there might have been a durability change, but you know what Kog'Maw does? True damage, so it doesn't matter.
I'd be curious to see. I know a bot lane right now. I mean, it's been around for a while. Maybe if you can somehow pull off the Tom Kench fasting Senna.
That's interesting.
Because they hit level 18. It's not like these games are as quick as you think. So
and Tom Kench at level 18, unless you just completely whiff your build, you can't die.
Yeah, and you get the infinite scaling from the Senna.
Right.
It's a little harder to pull off, but I mean, again, you're going to have a lot of souls crashing in. Maybe you concede a lot of early damage onto your tower to just let those souls spawn up. I'm curious to see how many stacks you could get if you pulled that off. I think about 50 to 80. There's the Karma pick for Let Karthus scale.
Pretty versatile. Can go kind of that hyper damage. Can go that support. We'll have to see. Karma used to do an underestimatedly strong amount of damage, but that's since been nerfed.
Ooh.
The Tristana has come through, and the Malzahar's here. You know, Tristana not really good at taking towers when there's no minions around. Malzahar, on the other hand, has an endless supply of minions. So, some Gigabrain stuff we're seeing here today.
If you wanted to end the supply of minions, just pick Belveth. Every time an enemy minion dies, you summon a little Voidling, and you just
have to get the Coral. And there's only 2 sources of Coral, which is 1 a kill. Belveth is an insane champion. Terrible for the first 25 minutes, and then an absolute monster post 25.
I'm curious now what you do if you let Karthus scale, because as you put it out, JoJo Rabbits basically are going to say, we want a tower push. There's the Senna. So it's not Tom Kench Senna, but it's Karma Senna. Which maybe in this scenario is better than the Tom Kench, because, of course, Kench would just be endlessly harassed.
Endlessly bullied, but then at the same time, I don't think neither Senna nor Karma have agency to go toe-to-toe with Tristana Malzahar. Like, Tristana Malzahar is the fighting side.
It's just a farm war.
That's true.
And at the end of the day, much like we saw with the Vigar, when one champion gains stats and no one else does, it makes it kind of hard. So I'll be curious to see. And a lot of it's going to depend on if Senna can get poke and build souls that way. If you're just trying to build on souls reliably.
Yeah, what's the Senna build then? Is it the Glacial? Is it like the Grasp? Is it the really rare Dark Harvest build that we sometimes see? Who knows?
Glacial would make the most sense just in terms of farming souls, because you want to build that attack range up so that you can compete with Tristana's ever-growing attack range.
Right.
So I think it's got to be Glacial. You're just trying to harass. You're hoping Karma maybe stays alive. But before we get to that, we'll take some look at some replays from game number 1 from Let Karthus Scales win over JoJo Rabbit here.
Barrier heal, that makes a lot of sense.
And, I mean, this is what you expected early game, right? Baratel was Lucian Nami to absolutely dunk on the enemy. I mean, we joined, and Gnar was already respawning.
Yeah. And they continued to kind of dominate this early game. It's just there was a 2v2 team fight that they were on the cusp of winning, but 12 up kind of casted Cole backwards into a Gnar that was running away for just a few seconds too long, and then Vigar also got away with like 1 HP. If they had taken that team fight, different game.
And this is kind of where things started to fall off. Lucian Nami, again, you want to win early, but it's hard when, you can't always back reliably. And I think this is kind of where things started to fall apart. You get the flash away, and Gnar's just going to say, look, I'm going to jump on you. And as you said, you don't even have to land the cage. You just have to put it around them so there's nowhere for them to go.
Part of me to be crazy to say this, but Lucian Nami, great. In this situation, with this being so close and kind of on a knife's edge for fighting, Lucian Renata, way different. Lucian dies, gets the full reset. He still continued to fight with the extra stats from Renata's W, gets the full reset from the kill, comes back alive. It's a different thing. Bless you.
I just didn't, after that game, and again, maybe it was just one game, maybe it was well played by Let Karthus Scale. It just feels like if you're going to go funnel, it's just not going to work.
That's fair.
Because you have to push for so long. You're going to hit level 18. As we saw there, Let Karthus Scale is like, we will itemize against
what
your
strong
damage.
Person is, no MR. Oddly enough, because Nami doesn't do any damage.
Yeah, maybe if you could find, a Zyra support or something in that vein where the support can do
Zyra
damage.
Ash. If we don't see Zyra Ash, that's a missed opportunity. And if you go like the Imperial Mandate Ash build, which scum if you do, but it can win, so W's are all that matter. you have like a 1 second cooldown on your volley. That's the wave clear. In addition to your Zyra damage, the moment that you get the arrow on someone, that person's gone.
Yeah, I mean, you have so much damage with that. But I think if you're going to go funnel, you need your support to be able to put out opposite type damage, so most likely AP, in decent chunks. I don't think you can
some Brand or something.
Brand, I mean, Annie would be another one that's kind of like those supports that can at least pump out some damage. I think, again, Senna, if you wanted to maybe go like Vigar Senna, I think, or Karma Senna, as we're going to see here from Let Karthus Scale. But here we go. It's Jojo Rabbits taking on Let Karthus Scale. If Let Karthus Scale can pick up this game 2 win, they will be moving on to the semifinals and be one step closer to a portion of our $1,200 prize pool. If Jojo Rabbits wins, they'll force us to a game 3 in this single elimination Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2. Is ready to see Danny going to get jumped on here.
Great flash.
There's some souls.
Got some souls. Do Malzahar minions offer the opportunity to drop souls?
That is an interesting one. Oh, Tristana's going to jump in. Is going to get rooted.
Rooted
Another
again.
root going to land. Flash forward. Darius taking damage. The Malzahar minions in progress, and they do get the kill. The Ignite from Danny W picking up a huge first blood. But again, we've seen the story before.
They dropped the soul.
Oh, that's not good.
That's scary.
Get the tier on Senna, so she's looking for some early burst damage here. And I'm going with the Fleet footwork, not the biggest fan.
Fleet's weird. Fleet's really weird here.
Ooh, here we go. Tristana low, Danny W low as well. That's a free kill. Pick up the soul. And this game's already a little bit more back and forth than the last one we saw.
Still sticking with the flash exhaust here on the side of Let Karthus Scale. Evidently, it ended up working for them last time, but I don't know. It's tough. Flash is super important. You're not going to flash out of like a Malzahar ult. It'll still get you even if you flash, like you complete it. But maybe jumping away from the Tristana.
Yeah, I feel like probably should have put Cleanse on the center.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure Karma's just going to go Mikhail's again, but
fair. The
starting with the Lost Chapters, that's probably going to be an Everfrost, although if you want to be like real cheeky, you go the Ludens and then just say, well, you're bursted.
Ooh, nice double root again from the Senna. There's a soul deep back there. I don't think you go for it.
That's a worth moment. Although, you know, the bard in me says go for it. Yeah, your little chimes are behind enemy lines. Let's go.
Another great soul pickup. That'll be something we'll see. We're able to keep an eye on the souls that Senna is producing.
Yeah, we gotta somehow find a way to get that stack on lockdown.
Every 20, she's gonna gain attack more damage. She's gonna gain range. Gains a little bit of crit chance.
Gotta be somewhere around like, say 12 or 15.
Depends on how much poke she's been getting out.
I mean, a pretty fair amount. They're pretty, especially with the tier and the extra mana regen here on the Howling Abyss. You can kind of throw that out as you want.
Yeah, I think if Senna can build this tier up.
The fact that these have the chance to give souls is also terrifying.
Yeah,
there it goes. There's another one.
I don't think could use the Q to pick it up if you want. It does also do a little bit of chunk of tower damage, but instead off to do. Wait, root is going to land. There's the Malzahar. Tristana going to jump in. Exhaust immediately lands the buster shot back into tower range. Does look like it will be a 1-for-1. Can Danny W pick up the kill?
Oh,
the shield just barely dodges. Oh, the meteor nearly chunking down Karma. You're dead, by the way, Danny W, unless you've got happy feet as soon as the Senna spawns. Just throw the ult.
Ulti's coming, right?
Yeah, just ult down mid.
Just want to use it for the fight. Now he's got the shield up. It's worthless.
Well, might have been a chance for them to pick up a kill, let the Karma reset, but instead.
Okay, we see a serrated Dirk. That can only spell one of two things. You're either going Eclipse or you're going Duskblade, and
probably
Eclipse is the better choice.
Yeah, it's just, you know, standard Senna build, Eclipse. I would have preferred to maybe stack the Manamune first, but Tristana going to go in, try and pop that E, double root, but right into tower range. The ult does go out. The Cleanse luckily gets 12 up for Dirty away, but Danny W now going to be chased down, soul picked up. And it looks like they'll both escape, but I think they're realizing real quickly that JoJo's Rabbits is not in for a fun time here as this Senna just continues to scale.
Yeah, it's only going to continue to get worse. There's a shield bow being built here for Tristana. Malzahar isn't catching anything, but you probably think they're going for the Leandries. My only question is that really the wisest choice?
Oh,
Senna
I think you
offers
have to.
shielding, healing.
Monster
Karma's got it.
Tristana goes in. This should be a 1-for-1 trade. Oh, no.
1-0.
Oh,
They
and
wanted
now
to cash in for their shield bow.
Malzahar's just dead.
Okay.
Now, the only downside to this comp for Let Karthus scale is that Senna is probably the worst 80 carry, in quotes, tower
Support.
pusher. Her damage is incredibly slow.
Yeah, but she'll reset with her Q.
I mean, she's just attacked so slow. I mean, look, it's 4-2, and this tower's just now taking shots.
Yeah, that's fair. There was like a bunch of scrappy stuff happening before then, but yeah, you're right.
Well, we're 6 minutes in.
Leandries for Karma.
And the Ludens for Malzahar.
You know, no, that should be the other way around. I'm
agree.
sorry, that should be the other way around.
Maybe they were trading items. Yeah, I mean, I love Leandries, but what? Oh, rocket jump in.
It's Nemesis draft, but for items. They said you have to build this, and I'll build whatever you tell me to, within reason.
That does not make sense for a Karma. I guess
It makes sense for a Malzahar. He ults, and then it just does the one thing.
Yeah, I want to see, Leandries demonic for Malzahar is the whole point. You know, you get your E on somebody, they just burn. Big fan of the fact that, the first part of Senna's route is a different one. There's the suppress under tower range. Exhaust goes out. 1 kill is picked up. And now we get to see the power of Tristana, but there's only 1 minion, unfortunately.
Oh, there's plenty of minions. There they are. Now they're wiped the screen with Karma's Q.
Okay. Oh, root is going to go out.
No, they pops the shield bow, though. Still may lose the tower. Definitely will.
Yeah, they will for sure lose the tower. Karma's got to play very careful.
Goodness.
Oh, Leandries make it the kill.
Oh, if they had Ludens, they would have died. If they had Ludens, they both would be dead.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how much that burn actually did, but okay, this is you just ult them Senna.
Ult both of them while they're healing.
No,
Not too late.
unfortunately.
Now, we gotta have to see the Eclipse, right? And that will be a huge boon for Let Karthus scale and their team fighting power.
I'd be curious the soul stacks on Senna as well. I'm assuming, if you're up in that 30-40 range, that's a very scary spot to be.
Production, can we get an update on the Karma, or the Karma stacks, the
Karma
Senna
stacks, please.
Can we see the Karma stacks and the Senna stacks, please? Or at least know what they are. If it's too much, don't worry about it. But I don't want to see any flame about the whole Karma build thing. I main Karma. I know what I'm talking about. It's the only champion I'm like 110% confident on.
They finally do get in tower range here. I mean, basically, you already know the strat for JoJo's Rapids. They want to
push.
They want to Malzahar all into rocket jump from Tristana, and that's the only time they go in. But I mean,
yeah. And when do you start deviating money towards the Malzahar tax? Because at some point you have to say, well, if this is all they can do, if we just stop it from happening, we just win.
By QSS. There's the Eclipse picked up from Senna, by the way. Best case, probably hoping. There's the ult. There's the Tristana jump in, but the Senna survived. The ult barely fails to kill Malzahar, but it does not matter. Karma picks up the double kill. Woo! 2 from each kill, but again, you're getting kills. You still haven't gotten first tower.
True. 53 stacks is what we're hearing from production. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
so they've got 2 instances of that upgrade that you were mentioning earlier.
They're very close to the third, every 20. And now they do get a decent chunk of damage. You can queue the tower if you really so choose. You see right there.
Need to. Do they commit this time, which is a mistake they made last game?
No.
They don't commit to the inhibitor. I think that's...
Malzahar. Oh, here comes Tristana. The exhaust is going to go out. 12 up. Knows he has to get a kill onto Darius. It might not matter, though. Tristana is just dead. Now Danny W has to defend. He's going to get rooted. He is going to go down. And this looks like Let Karthus scale is going to pick up the win and advance to the semifinals over JoJo Rabbit.
I don't know if you saw that. As opposed to Senna throwing the root at Malzahar, instead they threw it to the little minion, his little voidling, which dies in 1 hit. because when you do that, it instantly pops the root. That's some smart stuff right there.
That was absolutely incredible. Don't forget the USO is offering so many great opportunities to compete in esports and gaming. We've seen USO Invitationals, Madden League sending players to the Super Bowl this past year, and so much more. For more information on upcoming events, go to battlefight.com/the USO. Fantastic job by Let Cards to Scale.
Yeah.
They advance to our semifinals. We'll see if we have any bracket updates for any other games going on. But again, I mean, very interesting comps, and they made it work really well.
Yeah. There's obviously some diversity there. We saw the Enchanter ADC work kind of well, not work until the other end of the time frame, and then a complete flip-flop. The early game kind of dominance replaced with some late game scaling, and that ended up working. And then just kind of team fight initiating and kind of group synergy. The Malzahar ult worked great. Tristana having to get into melee range for that comp to work, I don't know if it was the greatest idea.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing, but not rocket jump forward.
Yeah, and the Tristana, if you're going to play her in this, you're playing her as a tower pusher, and they just simply never got to that point. And again, if you're going to try sort of that funnel, you've got to have something like a Karma, where, I mean, the AP damage was there. You know, you can debate whether or not the Leandries was needed, but you had the second point of damage, and you had the shielding to keep yourself and your Senna alive. So great job by Let Carth Scale. Again, there is $1,200 of prize pool on the line. We'll see who made it to the semifinals, because 3 of those 4 teams are walking out of here with some cash. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2s presented by the USO right after this.
A strong America is a force for good in the world, and the strength of our military is paramount to that mission. Wherever they go, the USO is there to keep our service members connected to everything that gives meaning to their service: family, home, and country. The USO is trusted to support our service members on all 7 continents. With more than 200 locations, home for our troops is as close as the nearest USO center or program. The USO provides critical programming, connecting with service members and their families millions of times each year. From the moment they swear an oath, new recruits are welcomed by the USO's family of staff and volunteers.
I'm here to witness my son swearing in. It's nice to have basically a liaison to help people so they aren't as nervous of what their children are going to go through.
Separation and constant movement are an ever-present challenge for service members and their loved ones. The USO keeps military families strong, providing connection home and events for families and couples.
From the little Christmas events for the kids, or like we had a date night, the USO has given us time, not only together, time with our children, and things to do.
When troops are deployed, the USO provides a home away from home to help bridge the distance. On the front lines, a care package, a phone call home, comfort food, a familiar song, or a moment to relax can mean everything. When their military service to the nation is complete, the USO connects transitioning veterans with resources in their new communities and helps them plan for their next chapter.
We spend most of our time servicing the country, that when it's time to get out, we're usually behind the curve a little. The USO has come in and kind of get us a leg up on that transition so we can make the best move into a second career.
We are the USO, the force behind the forces. Go to uso.org to learn more.
Do you think we can do it like James Bond style?
Yeah, only one way to find out.
Dun 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 dun. I made it! I made it! I made it!
Yes! Did I get it? Yes!
Well done.
We killed it!
It feels great to be able to give back to the community of active duty and veterans.
And of course I went on the USO's channel!
back into the Boise State Esports Arena. We're here today for the Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2 Finals. The top 8 teams from a 6-week Swiss bracket advance to compete for a $1,200 prize pool. And now Baratel alongside Fish, we are down to, I believe, the top 4. At least we know 3 of those teams. We've got Ooga Booga and Asbab Waivers. That's the semifinal we're going to see here in a little bit. We did see Let Cartha Scale. We have not heard who won our other quarterfinal between the 1 seed and the 8 seed. So we will fill you in because there is $1,200 of prize money on the line for first, second, and third. So if you win your semifinal, you're at least guaranteed to I guess, walk out of here since they're not in the physical arena. $200 richer per player.
Not too shabby. That's like a gas tank.
Hey, or, that's a bunch of League of Legends skins if you want to. But here are your breakdown. $600 per team for first place, so about $300 per player. $400 for second, $200 for third. Again, you win in the semifinal. Since it is not double elimination, you are guaranteed at least second no matter what happens. But this is an ARAM 2v2 if you are just joining us, but it's a little bit different than maybe your standard Howling Abyss game modes. Of course, it is not ARAM in the fact that it is all random. There is going to be bans and picks, but it is first inhibitor to fall, not first blood, not first tower, not a CS mark. It is first inhibitor to fall, which has changed things up from what we're used to seeing. We thought Lucianami would dominate. That was not the case. We did not see what Ooga Booga and Asvab Waivers did in their quarterfinals, so I'll be curious to see these two teams here in just a little bit here as we get ready for that semifinal to take place.
Yeah, again, as we mentioned before the break, seeing some different comps. I want to start seeing some juggernauts, though. I want to see some Aatrox, because Aatrox in the right hands of an adept Aatrox player can't be stopped. That man just continues to live, continues to fight, pretty darn good at pushing towers. I want to see it. I'm calling you out.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of the same things kind of start to pop up. I would assume that we will not – I would not be shocked if we see Lucianami again. I think the Senna Karma or something similar in that role where it's more of a damage support and an AD carry will be an interesting pick. And for this game mode, I mean, again, you can throw their solo queue where they play out the window, but it is kind of interesting looking at Asvab Waivers. They don't duo queue together from what I could tell, but they are a duo or a bot lane players. It is an AD carry and a support, where Ooga Booga's a mid and a jungler. So maybe Asvab Waivers a bit more comfortable in the 2v2 like they play a lot. Here is the breakdown, by the way, for the Army Esports League or Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2s supported by the USO. It is United States Army or active or reserve 2v2 bracket. Again, the top 8 teams from the 6-week Swiss bracket advanced to the quarterfinals. We're now down to 3 and waiting on a 4th team. Howling Abyss draft mode, and every game will be a best of 3 single elimination. So you've got a chance for the comeback. Didn't quite work for JoJo's Rabbits. I think they lost faster in Game 2 than they did in Game number 1.
Yeah, it was of their own volition too. They forced the envelope, saying, "We can keep fighting. You can't. You don't have your resource. You don't have ultimates."
Yeah, the Malzahar Tristana was not the play here. It does look like we potentially have a bracket update here. We'll have to take a look to see if we've got the advancer of our 1-8 seed. Of course, you would think the 1 seed would advance, but you never know, and it will be.
There we go.
Agumon was the 1 seed. So we actually have 3 of our top 3 teams. Agumon, Asvab Waivers, and Ooga Booga were the 1 through 3 seeds. The only upset, if you will, was Let Cartha Scale was the 5 seed. So
there you go.
All the top seeds advance kind of, usually as you would expect in a bracket like this. So no shocking upsets yet. But maybe Let Cartha Scale pulls off something. We'll keep you updated on that series, but of course we'll take a look at the bottom of the bracket. Ooga Booga has Asvab Waivers, I would assume, Game 1 here. Around the corner, at least the draft at any minute, I'd assume.
And we have to see, because we saw Asvab get themselves through that first, meeting of the 8 with insane speed. So we'll have to see whether or not that's something that they continue, if that's like a trend. Maybe it's like a double ADC, just hyper push comp or something.
I mean, they are a bot support main, so they're used to the 2v2. They probably have an idea, obviously when you're in bot lane, you're not trying to destroy the enemy's inhibitor. But you probably have an idea of what works well together. Again, maybe they play together. I couldn't find on the OPGG that they had duo queued in the last 20 games, but we will see here as we get our picks and bans. I believe it'll be Ooga Booga on the right here, and the Swain, just absolutely insane. Again, if you are just joining us, the bans on the outside are going to be the bans. The ones on the inside are the picks. Ignore the lanes. Baratel's going to give us that.
And then the picks are over here.
Yeah, ignore the rolls. Just ignore the rolls, pretend like they don't exist. The Nami's still taken away. Again, I'm not convinced Lucian Nami is it.
I think Nami in this capacity is weak. I think Renata, as I've mentioned it, not just to support my own idea, is a better pick. Nami Wave's thinner. It goes faster, sure. Renata's ult is thicker. Goes slower, but it will get there no matter what.
My only concern is, again, you're just limiting yourself to one type of damage, right?
Renata does a lot of damage.
You're right. She does a little bit more than Nami, but we'll have to see. The Talia banned away a very
newly changed pick.
That's an interesting one.
She's shown a lot of dominance in the right hands when you are comfortable on that, with the fact that her rocks are now more forward projected as opposed to that weird trapezoid thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot more powerful, and then shoving someone through that whole set of rocks, it's about like 50% of a health bar. And Weaver's Wall.
The Weaver's Wall is kind of a meme in Howling Abyss.
You can like cut off minions, so you just have free access to a tower.
That's fair. We gotta make
it's a very bad ultimate in ARAM. I'll tell you. I'll admit to that.
I feel like the level 6 power spike is what you want. We get a Karma and an Aurelia ban as well, and then there's the Senna.
They're watching the stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe.
This shows that they're watching the stream.
Yeah, maybe. I believe that is Ooga Booga. I mean, the mascot feels very Ooga Booga like.
That's a very Ooga Booga mascot.
So they clearly were watching.
Oh,
but
wait, did they do the double? Tristana Ziggs?
They don't get back-to-back picks, so unless Ooga Booga takes it away, they might get Ziggs Tristana.
I feel like you're incentivized to pick it.
Again, that's great if this was first tower.
That's fair.
I mean, you've got to win multiple fights as Ziggs Tristana, and where's the synergy there?
There isn't. They are both like very attrition-based champions.
It's like Mega Inferno Bomb.
There's the Annie.
Okay,
you were talking about Annie during the break. Yeah.
If this is an 80 carry, then I like this pick. I don't know what 80 carry you'd pair with Annie, but I just like the fact that you have both types of damage that you can throw out.
Anyone that, okay, that's not an ADC at all, but there's the Juggernaut I was asking for, and that is a beefy one at that. Jarvan going to get the party started, getting the Cataclysm down, and then drop the Tibbers on top of him. At the same time, though, that's a Ziggs.
And if they pick Tristana, I mean, Cataclysm does nothing. That's just a simple escape.
Yeah.
That's a satchel charge plus rocket jump. See you later.
You can even pick like Ezreal here. You don't even have to go for Tristana. I
think you want Tristana just for the pushing, right?
Right. Or maybe someone that can say, well, if you're in the Cataclysm with me, you're not going to like this very much.
Okay. Graves sort of fits that. Does have to dash out as well, so he can't
dash out. I think it's more so for like the Q. Insta bouncing off the Cataclysm wall. Super niche, but it is a thing.
And you can smokescreen as well, so the Jarvan can't do anything in the Cataclysm.
Yeah.
He's just stuck there with his own demise.
What's bad about the Graves pick, though, into Annie, super high burst for magic damage. Graves can't do anything about that.
No.
Quick Draw gives you like an ever-stacking amount of armor as long as you can continue to get those procs on and get that reset, which is great against Jarvan to some extent. He has armor reduction. But it's not going to do anything against Annie.
Yeah, to me, I don't know why you just didn't slam Ziggs Tristana.
I think you just slam Ziggs Tristana. Yeah, Graves does a lot of tower damage, but he has to be face up next to it to do it.
He does have to reload. I mean, that's, and I've seen games where I lost because my Jhin had to reload and ended up going down. You never want to have that where, the inhibitor's low life, you've got to reload.
Can you imagine the fourth shot just doesn't come out?
And then you die. But we will see here again. This is the 2-seed ASVAB waivers taking on the 3-seed Ooga Booga, both making pretty quick work. I mean, even with Let Karthus scale 2-0ing Jojo Rabbits, both these teams were done before. So, I mean, these teams were no slouches in their first round game either, but it'll be Ziggs Graves, Jarvan Forte, and Annie.
You know what's interesting, too? Tibbers can kind of nullify Graves' damage to some extent. Those autos can be blocked. Just put Tibbers in front.
And
even if you're clicking something behind Tibbers, too.
If you can get a minion wave in, and again, this would be very niche. If you Tibbers, you get the kill, you can then suicide. Tibbers will get enraged because he gets sad, and then he can go crazy on the tower and at least throw out some damage. But I look at this, and both of the second picks on this team just make me go, why? Yeah, exactly. Like the first pick, okay, 6. All right, we're going to get Tristana. Annie, we're probably going to get an 80
switching them would actually be better.
Yeah, the Cataclysm into the Super Mega Inferno Bomb onto the Annie who can't get out. Yeah, I think you could swap these, but
and then you Tibbers with like the full Graves combo. That person's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should just switch.
Well,
Guys, switch computers.
We did see that last time where it looked like the items were swapped. But here we go. Game number 1.
Great
Who
mascot.
will move one step closer to our grand finals? Dark Harvest on
This
the
is
Zig.
this is AP Jarvan.
At least at the start, it's AP Jarvan.
Got move their spell play.
Hey, he is immediately gonna chunk down the Zigs. Does he have enough follow-up damage? Flash forward for first blood. Exhaust goes off onto the Annie.
double electrocute.
I
They're
mean,
ready to fight.
That makes, I will say, that does make a lot more sense than the Dark Harvest Zigs.
Yeah, that's a
There's
bit
only
weird.
2 people in the game you can get Dark Harvest stacks off of right now.
You can reset it twice, and that's it. It doesn't do any good in terms of tower pushing. We do have to hope that maybe they pick some sort of resolve tree to get like the demolish, maybe.
Damage coming out here onto Annie. Here comes the Jarvan. The flag and drag onto Graves, of course. Flash forward, but not enough in the tower. It's going to put
That's a
Annie
Dark
at 1
Harvest
blood.
stack.
The exhaust goes out onto Comfy. He does pick up the kill, does reset the Dark Harvest, but he could potentially be dead.
Wait,
the
he's
Jarvan whiffed. The Jarvan just whipped. He split the uprights. It's good in football. It's bad in League of Legends as he just missed the flag and drag.
It's just gonna, yeah, you have to take this into consideration.
Oh no! 15
You didn't wait
seconds!
15 seconds,
No! The only good news is that Jarvan had left the spawn, so
Yeah.
he can't spend that cash.
He's gonna run it in now too. I'm gonna say it again, second time, 15 seconds. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, we did get a chance to take a look at Doc's keys to the game before this series, but we'll have to update them.
Yeah, 15
seconds to get out of combat.
Production, get on that if you would, please. Thanks. 15 seconds on Doc's keys of the game. They'll know what they're talking about.
Yeah, you can't hand over free kills because again, what did you get? You got a pair of boots for Ziggs and a couple of swords in the inventory of Graves. Not the greatest
ideal.
back.
No.
They do have some great pushing though. They are going to be able to shove this tower, of course, once it hits.
Oh, he's just gonna tank it with the
Oh,
shield.
the flag and drag.
Nice dodge.
Oh, Cataclysm comes out. The Graves cannot, or
They're
the
not level
Ziggs cannot
6.
get away.
They're level 5 still. They still have Tibbers too.
Tibbers is up. And unfortunately, the satchel charge was not up, and Ziggs just stood there in that counter.
He used it on Annie to keep them out of the fight, so that's probably why Tibbers wasn't dropped.
But
it doesn't matter, though.
You've got to save the satchel charge has basically got to be to counter Cataclysm or to kill a tower at this point.
Yeah, I don't think you can use it for damage unless you can guarantee the kill with it.
Here comes Ziggs back once again.
Using smoke screen on the minion wave, I don't know if that's the most ideal usage of it. Dark Harvest stacks, another one coming through.
Yeah, eventually the Ziggs will get scary. And again, you only have to get towers to 25%, so, you know, I mean, I guess you only have to do 75% damage to
The
the
Grave
tower.
just has to sit face first next to a tower for a few more seconds, a few less seconds than normal.
And if you're Ziggs, you've got to try and get your passive to attack the tower for that bonus damage. Shove the minion waves in, and then satchel charge.
Great poke here from Ziggs, despite being kind of punished for being the aggressor.
Tibbers is up. Cataclysm's probably, what, 20 seconds off cooldown?
Yeah, it's about like 23 seconds now.
Both flashes are going to be up. I mean, this is a simple Cataclysm flash. Tibbers, you're dead if you're the side of Asvab waivers, unless you hold everything. Ziggs will have flash, but
no cleanse.
You've got to flash almost instantly.
I mean, you saw the champions. Why not draft a cleanse real quick for the Annie?
I mean, the barrier.
I guess the damage is done though when you get hit by Tibbers.
Yeah, you can kind of, you know, you guess you can cleanse flash. I like the barrier.
And he's got the stun. He's got the flash, T-bomb stun, ready to go.
Everything's up.
Oh,
Here
he hit
it
a minion.
is. Oh.
They queued a minion.
They should be able to get the reset.
Yeah, and he's full stacks again anyway. I think Alexander's waiting for them to group as two, but kudos to Asvab for not, well, I mean, except right there.
Oh, there it is.
That's a bye-bye.
You're dead.
There's the combo, the counter combo.
Oh, Graves has so much life. Tibbers is just going to chunk down the Ziggs. And unfortunately, Ziggs doesn't have any mana.
Yeah, unfortunate.
He gets one more bomb. It barely oh, it did actually do damage to the Jarvan. Unfortunately, it didn't quite do enough. Zig's doing at least a solid chunk of damage, but...
Saving the tower.
Oh, one kill. All right.
Your hubris is your downfall.
Oh, pops the barrier. Flashes for the kill. 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Wait.
15 seconds,
you gotta
please.
wait.
Please wait. For the love of God. Okay. You're doing it. You're counting. I can see you counting. Wait a second.
All right, now you can go in. Now you can go. Oh, he's just going to stay alive.
He's going to deny the health pack.
Now he goes
now
in.
It's 15. Let's go.
You know, probably should have shot the tower at least once.
Use your one stack of your passive on the tower. But, you know, we're learning.
We're learning. He didn't hand over the Eclipse to Jarvan.
No. He built Leandry's too.
He went to burn them slowly.
No, you gotta be able to burst them too. I'm generally Leandry's overall does more damage, except in this capacity where there's no healing. You're fighting incessantly.
Yeah.
Your whole goal is okay. You got in the Cataclysm. I'm going to burst you here.
I guess the only thing I can think is you look at you look at the recency bias, right?
Right.
Those Annie and Jarvan are dead in that last fight, and it's not nearly as close if he has that Leandry. So maybe that's where he's coming from. There's a whole lot of swords in Graves' inventory.
That's true.
Oh, Annie looking for
Jarvan extra rich, the most rich so far in this game.
That helps when you do get a free double kill while dead.
That's true. That is true. You take what you can get, though.
Here comes the combo, by the way. Tibbers is up. Cataclysm is up.
They got Flash T-Bomb again, so they didn't use Flash last time.
There it is. The double stun.
Oh,
Ziggs is dead.
goodness.
The Cataclysm cancels the dash, though Graves has to flash away.
You know, maybe, instead of picking an offensive option for Ziggs, maybe you go Crown of the Shattered Queen.
Maybe you go Warmogs.
Maybe you go Warmog second item. You're not long for this world, friend. Bye-bye.
He is dead. The towers will start to slap Annie around.
He's such a good pick in this because offers a free Mega Minion.
First turret goes down. Here comes Ziggs, but they could potentially kill this Ziggs as well. Annie's going to go forward. Does land a stun, but the satchel charge stops her. The turret is going to get this Annie very low. The bomb will come out. It'll kill the Annie, but the tower is just getting chunked down by Rep. Can he take it out? Yes, he can. And so now it is just an inhibitor alive with no protection.
Ziggs needs to scoot these minions along so he can do his Ziggs thing. Haven't seen the even opportunity to get a Ziggs passive on this tower, and now is the only time to capitalize.
Annie is up. I'd like to see, love to see some tricky sort of Cataclysm and then run, try and slap around the inhibitor.
Just you Cataclysm, EQ out, and then just go to end.
There is the satchel charge. Can they pick up 2 towers will be the question.
Now Ziggs is doing so much. The Graves isn't really doing too much in these 2v2s.
The Ziggs is a great pick. Yeah, the Graves I know. A lot to be desired. There's not even a mythic done yet, and if you're, all Korea, you probably can't even afford to get a mythic. If you're dead, game's over unless your Ziggs ends up picking up the ace and you die as a last sacrifice.
But this poke has to land before they can get to the inhibitor.
Everything's up. I mean, it's Tibbers, it's Cataclysm. There's no flash bomb, but there's a flash Cataclysm, and that's basically the same thing onto Ziggs.
Yeah. Asvab, they hear the Imperial March right now. It's getting louder as both Jarvan and Annie are approaching the inhibitor, but it's coming.
Yeah, you've got to fight. You have got to fight. Here they come. Cataclysm, nice flash away. Tibbers came out. There's the Cataclysm. The bomb's coming out. Can Graves kite long enough? The Ziggs is out of mana. I think this is going to do it for Ooga Booga. They just need to simply attack. The bomb misses. The turret's going to attack Rep, but it's not going to matter. That is game.
That's it, yeah.
As the inhibitor will go down. The minions do not matter.
Now, Luden's on the other hand.
Maybe. It would have needed, maybe, but it does not matter. Ooga Booga picks up game number 1 over Asvab waivers, and honestly, it just feels like that Graves needed to be
anything
else. I mean, not anything else. I'm sure, chat could find a worse champion, but Tristana.
Tristana, yeah.
I mean, the tower pushing didn't work as well. But
here's the great thing about Tristana into that as well. even if they threaten range by going in into engage, Buster Shot says, okay, we have this much time to get away now.
Yeah.
You also can rocket jump yourself to safety, reposition multiple times.
Yep.
Your damage output's so much stronger because you don't have to worry about getting close to them. It's a lot of different options, but hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, we'll have to see what changes for game number 2. I mean, because that's not a comp that you feel really happy about banning away, you know.
Right.
The Jarvan Annie, it just – that was the first time we've seen a team win early game and let that snowball. We saw in our first series that while JoJo Rabbits got the first couple of kills, it never translated to anything more than just some pushing. So,
right.
And I do think the other thing that ASVAB waivers will probably learn here, and we can even maybe take a look at Doc's keys to the game to see if that's been updated, is, you know, you gave Jarvan a free double kill.
A free double kill.
Luckily, again, he had left the base, so he was not able to buy off that double kill, so it didn't matter
but that next
as
cash
much.
in was money.
Yeah, he bought the Eclipse and just simply did not look back.
No.
But again, some errors. It's not something you really think about. You're not used to. I mean, what? I'd say 1 out of every 10 league games, you're suiciding into a tower to prevent someone from killing you. It's not something that comes up very often in your.
But it's like a
5v5
very
game.
common thing in ARAM.
Like, I mean, I don't respect anyone who does that in ARAM. You know, just
you don't.
No.
15 seconds.
Fight it out. Fight it out.
Fight it out with your 1 HP.
Yeah, just stay alive, fight it out. Do not go for
That's fair. You know, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, if you're still alive, you still have the chance to do damage.
Exactly. Don't go for the cheeky reset. But I understand it in this context where you're trying to get some bags.
Money on the line?
Exactly.
You take the W.
$1,200 on the line in prizes for our Army Esports Community 2v2. First place will pick up 600 per team. Second place will pick up 400. Third place will pick up 200. And again, we are in the semifinals. We started with about 15 teams, had a 6-week Swiss bracket. Our top 8 advanced here, and now we're in the semifinals. So if you win the semifinal, you're good to go. You're already in the money. If you lose, you'll have to play for third place, where only one of those teams will go home with some cash. And here was the breakdown. It is United States Army active or reserve members 2v2s on Howling Abyss draft mode. Every series will be a best of 3. We've already had our top 8. We're now down to the top 4 teams.
Oh, yeah.
And again, the Swiss bracket holding true. Seeds 1, 2, 3, and 5 were the 4 teams that advanced. So, you know,
Yeah,
clearly
4 and 5 were both 3 and 2. So
exactly.
they're interchangeable.
Interchangeable. Probably a tiebreaker is all that decided the difference between JoJo Rabbits and Left Card the
Get
Scale.
into the draft. Let's go.
Here we go. Ooga Booga on the left side. ASVAB waivers on the right side. Again, Ooga Booga just needs to win one more game to guarantee themselves some nice
I like
cash.
the way they drafted. They had a very Ooga Booga draft.
The AP Jarvan off the rip for the early flag
The
scaling.
early flag damage, yeah, and the shield.
You know, hey, it worked out. The karma's banned away. I'm curious if Ziggs gets through again.
I mean, it had more agency. I think there has to be some respect to that.
Oh, they banned
That was
the Annie.
that was the only thing keeping ASVAB alive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but again, maybe there's something better. I like the Annie ban. It was played really well. It's very scary in this mode where tippers can just get dropped, and that is game. And then they're going to ban the Nami, so I would assume we're going to get 3 more support bans.
Let's see another Senna ban.
I get why you think Nami is strong, but as we learned in our first series, again, it just feels like she falls off way too hard.
So there's no damage presence there. Unless you're immaculate with your bubbles and tidal waves, there's no point to playing the champion. Sorry, guys.
Great in 2v2 lanes. They actually ban the Graves. Maybe it's to prevent themselves from picking it. Because that is ASVAB waivers that ban the Graves. So maybe this will prevent themselves because you and I both were not very confident.
We won't be tempted to pick this champion because it doesn't work.
Yeah, it does not feel like the Graves was the correct call. There's the Tristana. Okay, so Ooga Booga did not want to fall victim. They will still leave
Ziggs is
the
still
Ziggs
open,
up.
yeah.
I mean, you also maybe have the Vygar available. I know Vygar kind of fits in that upper tier.
Another Talia.
I get it, but I don't. I get why she's
I think you leave Talia open. Because if they want to do Jarvan dashing in, that's like most of their health when they dash in, right? I don't play Talia.
I feel like you just want a champion whose ult does damage. That's my
Just
one
does
concern with
something.
Talia. You want a champion whose ult does damage. We get the Senna. Will Ooga Booga go Senna Tom Kench, I think is the big question. And what does
that's pretty Ooga Booga of them.
What does ASVAB waivers have as a counter? It is going to be the question. Because, again, I thought their first pick was fantastic with the Ziggs, and then the Graves was not it.
Maybe go Seraphine.
Sona Seraphine. Seraphine
Lux Seraphine.
Just
Good to go.
not
What an awful meta that was.
not much. Oh.
Okay. Well,
Do we get to Tom Kench and just act like we're really playing bot lane?
well, we've seen the Lucian Nami. Similar to that is the Vayne Lulu. Lulu doesn't offer that damage.
Yeah, Lulu. But that's gonna be my one concern. You're right.
Right.
But that comp could itemize for tankiness because it was I mean, I guess Senna is infinite scaling like Vigar. I don't know if you just draft a Tom Kench.
You draft Renekton here. Any champion that has to go in shudders at the face of Lulu because you just get stopped. Wukong.
Don't know if
I don't know if he has got the damage.
because the great thing about Nara is he passively scales that you can just go second Iron Thornmail and not feel like you're losing
Can't
anything.
do that. Also, having a champion that just gets armor, Stone Skin's great passive against champions that don't do true damage. Maybe, you know what would have been great? Olaf.
Olaf was a champion that I was thinking, can do the same
Senna
thing.
Olaf? Ooh.
Oh,
Dang!
While we wait for game 2 to load, we've got some replays from game number 1 where Ooga Booga took home this first win.
I'm going in. We're going in.
Just look at how much damage the Ziggs takes to 20% right off of the rip. And then flash, auto attack.
He had flash the whole time.
He had flash and barrier.
No respect to the Jarvan damage. You know what, actually? That's different. Now, this was interesting.
This, I mean, gets a great kill onto the Annie. Graves is going to...
This whiff is going to be oof.
Just splits the uprights there. And this is where it looked good for Asvab waivers, but again, I just think that Graves, it
didn't do anything.
It just missed the mark.
Maybe if you built like more of an ADC Graves, like a crit Graves, as opposed to the lethality, would have been a little bit of a different story.
Yeah, old Graves might have been great here, but this was really the game changer. Is they get both towers
in one push,
off this push, and they didn't even bring Demolish, and so that set them up for a simple. All we need to do is win one more fight. And unfortunately, again, the Graves is just not doing it. There's no fully built. Look at that inventory. That's a hodgepodge of,
if that
yard
was
sale
if that was
items.
a shield bow with like a Phantom Dancer or something, you have so much more utility in keeping alive as long as you keep auto attacking. But didn't end up going that way.
Yeah, the yard
Jarvan's
sale.
great. Has that attack speed bonus on the flag drop too. Something to consider.
Yeah, you buff, Tibbers attack. too
Tibbers
when
got
you're-
attack speed buff
when you're-
with the shield buff too. When you shield yourself, you rage Tibbers.
Yeah,
now.
I mean,
It's crazy.
they had a great little sneaky, you don't think about it, but a very decent tower pushing strategy. We'll see here again, Ooga Booga on your left-hand side of the screen, looking to close this out and make it to the grand finals with this Senna Wukong. But again, now this time they're going into Vayne Lulu. I honestly maybe would have rather seen, I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but just pick the Senna Tom Kench and let's just play like we're playing bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, what can happen? Wukong doesn't remove anyone from the fight. The knockup's great and all, but as soon as that's done, you get a second one, and that's it.
Yeah.
Tom Kench can literally eat someone.
Yeah.
For 4 seconds. That removes them from the fight. If you pick Lulu, Vayne doesn't have anything to protect themselves with. If you pick Vayne, Lulu's got no damage.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see because again, we saw with the Lucian Nami that it got to the point where you just itemize against the AD carry and the support does no damage. We will see if that is the case here for our Lulu as we hop in here in game number 2.
Same tier, Bandle Glass Mirror comp. Now, do you go Imperial Mandate?
I mean, this feels like just a standard build. Maybe.
I almost think you go like Shirelia's Battle Song. Like, make your Vayne go hyper mode.
I'd probably prefer Lock of the Iron Solari just because there's nowhere to run, right?
They have the Bandle Glass, though.
True.
We see another Fleet Footwork Senna, which is super weird. Now, there's no world in which that would work, by the way. There's no way that you get a Tiki First Blood with Wukong Senna level 3. There's no world.
I think you're looking for you're looking for probably flashes. They are going to jump onto Comfy. They do proc, they get the shield from the Lulu, but again, what are you going to do with it? Yeah, again, I don't quite understand You're looking for like a root and to blow a flash, if anything.
It's lethality center again, too.
I don't hate the lethality center. I would have preferred a tier early over serrated dirt, just because I think your whole goal here is to farm souls off of attacking people. And when we saw Let Karthus Scale win, it was because Senna was just throwing out
stuff like that.
W's on cooldown.
Right.
So I would have liked to have seen maybe a little bit more. Can you build the support items in ARAM?
No, you cannot.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, people would abuse it. You just funnel like one person with the GP per second items. Be no fun.
Oh, they're gonna jump onto Comfy again, but
He's adding a lot of damage. They're
Ghost
gonna
get
go
popped.
Ghost. Oh my gosh, that healing.
Here's the root. Here's your chance. Exhaust. Oh, flash for first blood. Does trade,
turn
but
kill.
Wukong's not losing this, right?
Wukong should never lose this. Although,
No mana
if they get the glitter lance.
Lulu.
Okay, so you abandon building support right now and you go full AP, right? You should.
I think you probably finish your first support item and then just go AP. Get an update. Uh-oh.
Try to go for the
Senna.
execute. Just dodged it.
We did get an update on the other side of our bracket that let Karthus Scale with their Veigar Gnar we saw earlier. They did win game 1.
Just lose.
Oh, Wukong's going in.
Bye.
Can you get the knockup? Ooh, nice condemn. Can you get the second knockup? I don't think you get in range, though. The chains are going to miss, unfortunately. The only thing that I can think you pick Wukong for is you can queue the towers. So you do have...
And your clone helps you reset your queue. You can, like, destroy tower if left alone to it. I don't know if they're going to have that opportunity.
But
Here's
yeah,
an interesting thing. Senna, Wukong, physical damage. A lot of it. Vayne is one of the few champions that can do, like, some really, really weird builds that are, like, they're armor focused. You can build a Randuin. You can build, like, a Force and Age. You can build a lot of weird stuff on Vayne that's completely meta because you just need attacks and you just need to get that True Silver Bolts proc. That's it.
We already do have the Steel-Toed Boots up for Vayne before any other item. We already got the Moonstone Renewer online for this Lulu, so there's going to be a lot of healing going out. The chains do land. They are going to be able to pick up this Vayne. Wild Growth comes out, potentially. Reps has to run away. Valkyrie's going to flash forward. The Polymorph, the heal does save the Wukong. Can he get away? No, he cannot.
Nice.
And
great spacing from the side of Asgard Waivers.
Oh yeah, that was. You get the Wild Growth. This is looking a little bit scarier for the side of Ooga Booga this time.
Wukong, despite wanting to go in and do a bunch of stuff, Transmogrify stops you from doing any of that. You get turned into a little cute squirrel, and that's it. That's the end of that book.
Yeah, and you know you feel great that you got the Vayne low, and what happens? Wild Growth.
Yep.
You have to disengage.
All the while, all the support being thrown into the Vayne with the Moonstone Renewer will heal.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, the Lulu may be the support to pick over the Nami.
It's a lot more disabling.
They do just disengage, which is going to let Senna pick up some souls.
Probably somewhere around maybe crossing the 20 threshold soon.
I mean, I guess that's the other thing. The Wukong does benefit from CSing a little bit more than maybe a Karma would, but that's about it. I mean, everything is up for the side of Ooga Booga. You've got the Cyclone, you've got the Exhaust. Wild Growth, though, up in about 10 seconds, and you really can't fight. You've got to go in, blow the Wild Growth, save your cooldowns, and then go back in.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think if Wukong was like a range, like Karma, Lux, someone that can make picks happen without having to go melee range to do so, you can get those crucial cooldowns popped without having to put yourself in danger. Wukong, on the other hand, has to go in.
One downside for ASVAB waivers is they don't have the greatest wave clear.
That's true.
So if Ooga Booga can just continuously slam wave into the tower, they're going to do a decent bit of passive tower damage. They have to
that's their whole opportunity. Slam these waves in and then use the Senna's extended Q to harass. I think that's what you have to do, to chip down and then say, well, even if they Wild Growth, one of them is going to be low enough that we can get a 2v1.
Oh, here we go.
So bait. They didn't fall for it, though.
Wild Growth still up. There's the Wild Growth. Now you disengage. Can they get away from the Vayne? Tumble forward. Alexander gets away. Okay, so now you have about 60 seconds to fight here, but you took a decent chunk of damage. You do have the Sunny Healing. The chains aren't able to find.
Still available. I think you just go for Lulu.
Here it is. Cyclone comes out. Dawn of Shadows goes out. You got one more Cyclone. As soon as this fades, you've got to kill the Vayne. She's going to flash away. Gets the shield. The healing comes out, but it's not enough. Vayne's going to stay alive. And that is an ace for ASVAB Wavers.
Great intention. Poor execution. Lulu was alone and isolated that whole time. I think you take out the Lulu to turn to the Vayne.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Vayne did that damage regardless of you putting pressure on her.
Yeah. Vayne can auto attack you. Yeah, you're probably right. The Lulu, I mean, maybe you have to bounce back and forth if the Lulu shield yourself. You jump on the Vayne, but that shield is so huge with the Moonstone Renewer.
Yeah.
I mean,
whoa. That is so intuitive. The Serpent's Fang coming out to say, you want shields? You're going to pay for it. That also disincentivizes Shield Bow to some extent as well.
It's not an awful choice from Rep. He also adds like 18 swords to his inventory. He's now a sword vendor.
Just put him on the gun somewhere. Thing's huge.
I don't think they're going to help you. Oh, here we go. They're going to go back on Vayne. Wild Growth is
Wild
up,
Growth
though.
is up. This is the bait.
Okay. The Wild Growth now.
So much damage.
Can you get away? The Vayne is just running you down. Wild Growth gonna fade to pick up the kill. The Lulu now left alone. There's the Polymorph, but I don't think it's gonna matter. She flashes forward to pick up the kill onto Rep, but Wukong will end up getting the kill, and now he could probably get.
He's gonna get the tower.
Tower
he
easily.
Has to.
Don't suicide here.
Suicide after the first tower. Drop your W. Drop your W.
Might be on cooldown still from that fight.
Drop your W because it resets on auto attacks. It's up 100%. You drop your W so you can keep getting your Q up.
He takes care of it.
The Shield Bow was picked up Redemption as well on the side of ASVAB, so they want to continue fighting. But the Shield Bow, again, with the Serpent's Fang here, it's disincentivized to some extent. Unfortunately, Senna's one of the very few champions that can't, like, fully take over the power of Serpent's Fang, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, because of the fact that she attacks so slow. That's unfortunate, but it's still a nice pickup. I almost think that Wukong should grab it as well.
Wukong did get the
execution. This may work at level 12, not a level 3. You go for the Lulu, though.
They are going to jump onto the Lulu. Now they're going to switch over to the Vayne. Exhaust comes out. Wild Growth falls to Valkyrie. They've got to swap targets. It's not going to matter. Comfy is just too fed. Can Alexander get anyone? No, they cannot. They are up in 18 seconds. I do not believe ASVAB Waivers can win off of this.
I don't know. Whimsy's pretty good.
They can maybe get second tower. I don't think they can get the inhibitor.
With the, what is that, 7 or 8 caster minions, a fully health cannon minion, this tower's gone. Oh, they're doing the tumble reset thing too.
Right, close. Wukong is up. Will they just go for the game is going to be the question. I think Vayne can just win it here. You've got to get in there if you're Wukong. Nobody's stopping Comfy. There's the flash forward. They want to hop onto the Vayne. The ult comes out and whips. Can the Vayne stay alive? No, it's another 1-for-1 though. Valkyrie just going to get chased down here. But you don't get anything off of this if you're Ooga Booga because you're defending your inhibitor.
Yeah, that's true. And finally, Wukong crosses the finish line for getting their own mythic, but a little bit too late, I think. And you gotta continue to wonder. We had harped on it during the draft. We're harping on it during the course of the game. This Wukong just really not adding a lot of benefit to the Senna. You can consider maybe the Tom Kench. We even saw that Nautilus, Leona were still left up. Nautilus, you can just throw down the depth charge onto a target and say, well, that person's out of the fight. A lot of different options, but you know, it's still up to Ooga Booga to pull this one off. And this cheeky,
I mean, it's not worked. No. You're 0 for 2.
The Bush Wookiee does not work in this context. I'm sorry.
Your Senna's down 2 levels, though I would assume if some close minions die, your Senna will probably get to 13 potentially. with the 4 kills.
Yep, there's the build. There's the Warden's Nail coming into a
Oh, they're going to jump on the Vayne. There's the Cyclone. Wild Growth is going to be used. One more Cyclone. Is it going to matter? Exhaust goes on the Vayne. They cannot pick up the kill. Rep will go down. The Wukong is just going to simply be run down. And ASVAB waivers will force us to a game 3 for a grand final spot with the Vayne Lulu absolutely
so fast.
bodying Ooga Booga.
Yeah, it's a draft difference.
Just yeah, you needed something. I think that I will say, I think the Vayne Lulu countered whatever. I don't think Senna Wukong was the plan when they first picked Senna. I don't think that was close to the plan. I think that was we'll pick Senna, maybe Tom Kench. They just felt that Tom Kench would get bullied too much. I have no idea, but this tournament is supported by the USO. The USO strengthens America's military service members by keeping them connected to family, home, and country throughout their service to the nation as a force behind the forces. So game 3 for the grand finals here between ASVAB waivers and Ooga Booga. Again, we heard Let Karthus Scale won game 1 on their semifinals, so we'll probably hear whether or not they won a game 2 in the middle of this game. But yeah, I said just draft difference. And it actually sounds like we're just going to hop right over to that game. Let Karthus Scale won game number 1 with the Vygar Gnar. We'll hop right in and see where they stand, if we'll have back-to-back game 3s, or if Ooga Booga and ASVAB waivers will know who the winner will play.
Right. Here we go.
Let's see who it is.
For it.
Curious to see the comp, because we did get told Let Karthus Scale did bring out the Vygar Gnar in game 1, which they used against Jojo Rabbits to win. So curious, maybe they brought out the Senna Karma potentially in game number 2, which is what they
keep
played
people on their toes, you know.
I feel like when you've been playing each other for 6 weeks, like they did in the Swiss bracket before this tournament, you've got a meta. Here we go. Let Karthus Scale and Armagon, and hey, it is Senna Lissandra. And Let Karthus Scale has picked up first blood against the Mordekaiser
Yorick.
I like the Mordekaiser pick. I am not a huge fan of the Yorick pick, however.
Yeah, Yorick's like, I can split push. I'm really good at it. There's only one lane here.
Yeah, you know, you can't really split push. Uh-oh, you're dead. Python Arm, Senna.
Whew, a lot of damage. I like the Lissandra pick, though, a lot.
They really play this Senna X build really well for Let Karthus Scale. They did.
Oh, my goodness. Did they pick this into the Yorick because of the fact that his ghouls probably give souls, too?
Teams really just do love feeding his souls.
Right?
Oh man, barely misses the kill on the Python Arms. I mean, look at the CS difference.
They're doing this is so smart though. They're keeping both the Yorick incredibly low and the tower incredibly low for that entire reason of hey, it's going to be a threat regardless.
Trauma Brain has to flash away. First tower. This feels like a Let Karthus Scale. Snowball is approaching at Mach velocity here. If you're Agamoggin.
Yeah, and they have so many tools to help themselves stay alive during that 2v2 fight.
Oh, it's me that's OP. Does drop a bit low. Almost has the Glacial Prison up. Oh, flash forward for Python Arms. You got to jump on to the Lissandra.
Right, they're so low. Force them to ult themselves and then maybe turn the fight somewhere else.
On to Mordekaiser. The Maiden is chasing down this Senna. Maybe they made the right call as Senna will fall. Lissandra will go down as well, but I don't know if the 3-0 60 CS Lissandra is what you wanted to kill. But we'll keep an eye on this game. It does look like we have draft for game number 2 ready, or game number 3, excuse me. For ASVAB waivers and Ooga Booga ready to go. So
let's do it.
We'll keep you updated on that game. Did look like Let Karthus Scale had finally fallen off just a little bit, but that Lissandra was about to pick up.
They got the tier 2 tower to do so, to finally die. I think that's pretty good.
That Lissandra was 3-0 with 60 CS. She was going to come back with a very, very powerful item.
Probably Everfrost, I think.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. That's what they used with the
first game 3 of the day. Let's see how it breaks down. Sides swapped yet again. For those just joining us, the outer 3. Right, bing, bang, boom. Those are going to be bans. The inner 2, bing, bang. Those are the picks.
Curious to see what both teams will want to come out. I mean, Ooga Booga kind of had like a cheesy Jarvan Annie
Right.
comp that won game one in dominant fashion. The Annie's already banned away.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you have to take Lulu away is my guess.
Take the Vayne away. That thing was
well,
devastating.
the Lulu enables Vayne. She enables Kog'Maw.
True.
The Lulu, I think Vayne by herself is a lot less scary.
Yeah, you're probably right. I want to see some All-Star.
Vayne Alistar.
It's a classic.
Might work. Why not
The,
Blitz
the condemned
Alistar?
headbutt.
Pull.
Let's see some Callista Blitzcrank, some Ballista action. Pull them under your tier 2 tower. I'm in for it. That's what I'm here for.
I mean, if you don't ban Lulu here, I mean, this might be.
You're asking for pain. Because
Unless
unless
you've
you
got a
know
comp.
something to deal with it, which Wukong was not the answer.
They draft Vayne and you immediately draft Lulu Kog'Maw.
You say, okay.
Okay, we'll play your game with you here. I mean, the Talia ban, still not a huge fan.
I don't get it either. I
The
mean, another
Aurelia
Aurelia
makes
ban,
sense.
Yeah,
That's
that
just-
champion's absurd.
It's Aurelia. She just does Aurelia things.
It's getting buffed, I think, this new patch coming up, too. Why? I'll never know.
There's a lot of monsters in the top lane. Aurelia could probably use some of the help.
There's the
but-
Lulu ban.
Okay, so that I like.
Nami's open, though.
I mean, maybe Asvad Waivers can play it better than JoJo Rabbits, but at least what I saw from JoJo Rabbits, I don't think Lucian Nami is the play.
No, it's literally Renata Glask, Lucian. It's just better.
Just draft 2 AP champions so the Renata ult doesn't do anything.
True. So they just
Oh, wow. We just did get word let cards to scale, and the time it took for 3 drafts, 3 bans to go
There's
up
the
from each team
Nami.
is already won. This is probably Lucian Nami for Asvad Waivers if I'd have to guess.
yeah. Although there is a world in which if you don't want to be as combative as Lucian entices you to be, you can go like Ezreal Nami. You can go anything
feel like
Nami
you just
now
have
because the
less-
W now buffs. Tidecaller's Blessing buffs abilities.
That's true.
So Ezreal can like super burst someone. Nasus.
okay,
This has to be AP, right?
Has to be.
Unless you just say, I want to suffer for 15 minutes and then
I
I
don't
can play
think
the
this game goes long enough for Nasus to have any relevancy if you're playing
And
anything but
yeah,
AP.
you're 100% right. Unless you're just like a wither bot and just say, well, Jace, have
Jace
fun,
doesn't
but he can't
do
move.
enough damage.
No, he doesn't. These two are just not synergistic at all either.
Yeah.
Unless they just want to go in. Like if Jace is focused on hammer mode, then sure.
Ooga Booga has fit their team.
That is a very Ooga Booga draft,
all
yeah.
of their comps have just been Ooga Booga. We
Kudos to you for staying on brand. I respect that.
There's the Lucian Nami.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably we might be forced to eat our words, but that feels
Wow,
more like
Renata's-
a draft issue more than anything else.
Renata seems pretty strong against those two for some reason. I don't know why.
Jace would probably help evaporate the Nasus. But
AP Nasus just with like a stick tries to beat up Jace, not working. It's a big question mark.
I'm curious to see. I mean, again, if you get it, I mean, again, this
They
is
have a
Ooga
lot of
Booga.
ranged poke if it is truly like lethality. Jace and then the AP Nasus, sure.
Again,
But Nami's just going to keep healing that up.
they played AP Jarvan and it works, so maybe it is
They
AP
started
Nasus.
AP.
Hey, enough to get the cheese kill. We do have
All
some
right.
replays from game number 2 that we can take a look at here, and it really just, I mean, this was the, later on the theme where, they could not win a clean 2-for-0. I don't think a single ace was picked up by Ooga Booga, and this was absolutely insane that Valkyrie was able to pick up a double kill there.
Yeah.
And then it just got to the point where you were not killing the Vayne. I mean, I'm sure we're going to see 3 replays that look like the same except the levels changed. This Vayne is just not dying.
Yeah, in contrast to Nami, Lulu does damage.
Yeah.
And a lot of it. And then, Nami's bubble, great. Aqua Prison, super great ability. Lulu can just say, you're a squirrel for 2 seconds on cooldown.
Yeah, Lulu, as you say, has more damage and has just more ways to protect her.
Look at this, though. They have Lulu pinned between the two of them, and they're still overextending for Vayne. In this particular instance, going for Vayne was the wrong choice.
Yeah,
And then it just got too far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's going to look like deja vu. You're going to hop onto the Vayne, and you're simply not going to be able to kill her here. Again, you probably could have hopped on the Lulu there, maybe turn this into a 2v1 onto Vayne, but even though Wukong picked up the kill, the inhibitor is exposed. It is, of course, first inhibitor gets destroyed, loses. So
Also, Senna is not super fun to play against Vayne. Vayne's
Yeah.
hyper mobile. Senna has to like stop moving for a long time to auto attack. Not fun.
no, I think the Senna was the first pick, and I think it was we'll pick Senna
Right.
and we'll base our comp around that. But so we are going to have. We already know. We already know who's in the grand final. That's Left Karthus Scale. And we already
Yep.
know who's in the third place game. That's Agamagan. So we will go to our third place game. I've been told after this. So the loser of this game will play Agamagan for third place.
Right.
The winner will chill up with Let Karthus Scale in our first place game in the grand finals. Again, $1,200 awarded to the top 3 teams combined. And we'll see which
It's
of
AP
our
Nasus. That's a Winter's Orb.
Tear of the Goddess is a very interesting one
For the Nasus?
for the Nasus. Yeah.
I think it's because his E costs a lot of mana for how often it's off cooldown.
What can these two teams do? We'll see.
I don't think you want to get anywhere closer than you already are with this 2-man comp. You just want to poke on repeat.
Yeah, Ooga Booga, if anything, they love to be Bush Wookiees. Try
That's
for
true.
these cheesy kills, but again, you don't have any CC in this comp.
Phase Rush on both of them?
I would have preferred Comet on the Nasus.
Comet on the Nasus and
Oh, Alexander has to run away. Flash Force from Rep as well.
like you could Dark Harvest on the Jace, right, or something?
Dark Harvest, maybe Conqueror.
Maybe. I mean, if your job is just going,
Oh,
bye-bye.
Flash
See
Forward,
ya.
Comfy, First Blood.
Nasus, you can't do this because you're AP, my friend. I'm sorry.
Oh, maybe
you
he
can
gets
do
the
this,
E
though.
down. There it is.
Hey, he didn't know he was AP. Or maybe he wanted to cash in. I don't know.
They get the first blood. We'll see what Lucian has. I mean, boots.
Crit
Oh, he's
cloak,
getting the crit
huh?
cloak. Okay.
He wants to hurt immediately. That
Yeah.
means that it's Kraken Slayer.
Oh, of course. He wants to.
Hurt all of them.
Yeah, I think that.
Oh, I think having healing against the poke comp is pretty important too, though, to some extent. Maybe you go for early Bloodthirster. Still gives you crit, huge survivability in team fights.
I'm even thinking a Mortal Shield Bow. Well, less damage wouldn't be as awful because again, you're gonna get poked out. You might start.
You are
fights.
gonna, yeah, you are gonna get poked.
You're
And
gonna start
this
fights.
is the one instance where I support Leandry's on the Nasus, because his E, it works in such a weird way where it does half damage up front, and then over time, it does the other half of the damage.
That second half of damage will never be done to a player.
You generally don't stand in that as much as you.
And there's no CC to stop you from standing.
Right,
in it.
unless somehow Alexander goes like for a flash, some sort of insect play with the knockback and hammer form. I don't think so.
Ooh, Comfy. See, again, you're already low. Here comes the tidal wave. It
Nice
will
dodge.
be dodged.
And that's fine. I mean, if you're Ooga Booga, you take that. You didn't get engaged on. You're still free to poke. Lucian's incredibly low and doing so much damage on a routine basis that Nami can't heal yet. Nami also has Electrocute, which is super weird. I think Aerie would have been the call here, knowing that you needed to keep your Lucian topped off.
Very interesting that Rep to put any points into his queue.
Did he?
Yeah, he's done it.
I mean, you go like Lichbane late game if you get there, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'd
but
rather
we've seen
just
a game get to 18, level 18 before, so who knows?
True. I'd rather just have, max Wither stacks for Lu.
Oh my
good night.
god. That was on the... Okay, so Jace players are very interesting in which they can do things two different ways. You can do like Force Gate, Force Blast, where you know where it's going to go and it's pretty predictable, or mid-trajectory of your Force Blast, you throw down the gate and it just explodes like we just saw.
Now they picked up one kill. Now they're going to pick up a decent amount of tower damage, so they do have to be careful because a tower shot plus Lucian back, you do not want to give him free gold.
No, you do not.
He did end up opting for the ARAM hammer,
ARAM hammer, Guardian's hammer,
which
gives you lifesteal, I believe.
does give you a bit of lifesteal, so maybe he is realizing the poke's going to be a problem because he could have got closer to finishing that Kraken Slayer. for that 950 gold. He's going to dash forward. Rep nearly gets taken out. Has to be very careful. Knockback into tower range exhaust. Goes down. The cooling does not matter because the Nasus ult was there. Valkyrie is dead.
Okay.
And Ooga Booga just continues to Ooga Booga their way closer to the grand final.
Ooga bully their way in. That flash backwards, knocking Lucian into the tower. Great choice. I wonder who has the demolish. It's got to be Nasus, right?
Probably. Now, can you get the? Did you get out of combat long enough? You did.
15.
But unfortunately, Rep will not. He'll just simply opt for tower damage. Probably the best case there. I don't think he's getting away, and he didn't give Nami the.
Jace, what are you doing, bud? Woo!
We want some
that's
armor
a spicy meatball.
And we want armor pen, and we want it now. Okay, wait, he did refund. He did refund.
Did he?
Yeah, his gold jumped up to 1,400, and then unless he had enough for 2 Dirk and a 1,400 item.
Oh, he's going full out. You got 20 bucks in the hand.
He did buy boots, I would assume. Lost another 300 gold. I'm curious if that was a refund, because he did jump up to 1,400 gold and then back down.
Boom.
We'll have to see. He did end up maybe double buying the Dirk. Yeah, okay, yeah, he did. He meant to buy Dirk Caulfield. That would have been fantastic. I would have supported it.
Yeah, you want to win early, then do it. I mean, it might not be the best way to do it, but it is a way. Oh, there's the Wither.
Wither's the minion. Or no, he Wither's on to the Lucian. There's the tidal wave.
Yeah, it gives so much free agency for Jace to say, well, I can't miss if he can't move. There's another Wither.
Nami, interestingly enough. I think Jace waiting for that combo.
God.
Can he get in range? This Nami is basically dead. There's one healing pack left.
Oh, they went Imperial too. I mean, you're not.
Oh, this
is a tough one.
This is Gate Blast and a kill there. Oh,
bye.
Ooh,
nice
barely
dodge.
Misses. And Jace and Nasus do also have a lot of turret damage.
True.
With the Jace W in
the hyper
cannon form.
Yeah, the hyper attack speed buff.
Yeah, you just do.
Despite, you know, Siphoning Strike not being built up right now because he's AP, still does add damage, yeah.
I mean, you're just waiting.
And it's an attack reset.
Bubble goes out. You've got to fight this soon. You have the culling.
You have to,
there
you have to fight within the confines of the Imperial Mandate.
Has to be. Oh, no.
He did it again. Right on the corner.
Wasn't looking at the Nasus. And you'd forget about the Jace.
Whoops.
It's a long time since Jace has had any relevancy here. The bubble does go out. The exhaust goes down. They got to be careful. They could have just taken out this tower instead. They are going to lose the Nasus. They might have been able to win the game and they played this a little bit better. Will Jace go for the win or will he go for the reset? He'll go for the reset.
Just got to play it safe. Lucian getting a kill. Gives over the tower, sure, but maybe you just cash in. Just got a tower. You got some kills under your belt.
You would be able to finish whatever lethality item you're working on.
Oh.
Probably the Eclipse.
I don't know about the Oblivion Orb here, to be honest.
For the Nasus?
Yeah, but he's AP. Like, yeah, he's got a 15% lifesteal passive, but that's not what he's doing. I think you maybe try to get your Lucian buffed up more. Maybe go for Staff of Flowing Water, Ardent Sensor.
Forward. Can they get the kill on Alexander? They get the tidal wave and the stun onto Reps. He's got a flash
Wow, what a
away.
flash. That was a huge flash.
Work to the shock blast, misses.
But now they're low and they're on the back foot.
And, I mean, you've got to be careful because
Lucian can go whenever he wants.
This tower could turn into multiple towers. There's the shock blast.
Oh, he's so close. If this is like up to Jace to land these shock blasts.
But look at the healing the company's getting from that lifesteal. Plus the Nami healing.
Yeah, Ebb and Flow is doing so much work right now. Oh.
Nice chunk of damage, but again, Nasus is up in 8 seconds, pulling just short. Oh,
but the slow from the tidal blessing.
Oh no, so both inhibitors are going to be exposed.
Nasus can't do this. He's just AP Nasus.
He might. Oh, can he get there? 50%. He's got to land the E onto Comfy. He gets the kill. And I don't think Nami has enough damage.
He does not.
Wither. There's the kill.
Do they have enough time to get it themselves, though?
No. I don't believe
Prowler's Claw. Buddy, I don't know about that one.
Do you just like run this down and try and
I mean, sure, it's like the most ooga booga choice, obviously, but
it's the narrative. There's the Kraken
got the
Slayer.
boost of
There's
swiftness
the
too.
Sheen.
Essence Reaver coming through.
Do you just go for the win here?
I think you have to. Nasus doesn't have like the ulti though.
Nasus has no ult. There's a
both
tidal
are up.
wave and an exhaust.
No, you just
up.
got to go for your same tried and true poke method.
Oh,
Wow,
just-
he's not doing any damage now.
Attack. Oh, here comes Comfy.
Just keep walking minions in. Oh, he's fully healed. Yeah, they are not able to just poke for free anymore.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tidal wave and you do have the exhaust for both
Yeah,
sides.
this is where Lucian has to pop off. Force gate's down, so that means the accelerated shock blast cannot come through for another 6 seconds. Just trying to chip away at the minions, but Lucian is just throwing minions into the dirt.
The minions
Okay,
are-
nice AoE damage.
Yeah, the minions will take a lot of damage from the Jace and the ooh. Oh, they're gonna go in. Here we go. Exhaust gonna land. Tidal wave knocks up both. Polling comes out. And they have to reset for Ooga Booga, but they got both ults out of the way, but they did not get the exhaust.
They get the exhaust or the cleanse. Unfortunately, Lucian's just going to heal up, and he's going to go in.
And Rep has to be careful. Jay's gonna look for the kill. Can he finish off Comfy?
Oh!
Valkyrie's gonna
The
go for it.
knockback!
They did it. Ooga Booga is most likely going to win this game and go to the grand finals unless the
Unless
minions
something.
just destroy Nasus.
Oh, yeah.
He is taking a bit of damage. He
He's
does
getting
have to be
hurt.
careful, but unfortunately,
It's over.
it is over.
Wow.
Ooga Booga will move to the grand finals against Let Karthus Scale. Agamagan and Asvav Waivers will play for third place. Before we do that, though, a reminder the USO is offering so many great opportunities to compete in esports and gaming. We've seen USO Invitationals, the Madden League, which sent players to the Super Bowl this year, and so much more. For more information on upcoming events, go to battlefight.com/the USO for more details. So we have our grand finals and third place game set. Again, 3 of these 4 teams are going to walk out of here with some cash, Baratel. And we haven't seen too much of Agamagan, which is going to be our next game. Will be the third place game between them and Asvav Waivers.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what they do. But, man, that was a very scary game with the Lucian Nami almost proving us wrong.
it was a build difference, I think, at the end of the day. What
I
are you
mean,
gonna
it
do?
was just, again, the Nami. There was multiple fights where the Nami was the last one alive.
Yeah.
And she had no damage.
Again, they didn't build correctly. I'm sorry.
Nami just doesn't do enough damage.
Moonstone Renewer, great option. Shirelia's great option. Getting healing reduction on a team that doesn't really do a lot of healing, I don't know. That's like 3,000 gold wasted.
Oblivion Orb great against normal Nasus, not so great against AP Nasus. But we will take a break. When we come back, it'll be the Army Esports community, 2v2s in League of Legends, supported by the USO. Third place match. Who will pick up the third place and the $200 between Agamagan and Asvav Waivers? We're going to find out right after this break.
A strong America is a force for good in the world, and the strength of our military is paramount to that mission. Wherever they go, the USO is there to keep our service members connected to everything that gives meaning to their service: family, home, and country. The USO is trusted to support our service members on all 7 continents. With more than 200 locations, home for our troops is as close as the nearest USO center or program. The USO provides critical programming, connecting with service members and their families millions of times each year. From the moment they swear an oath, new recruits are welcomed by the USO's family of staff and volunteers.
I'm here to witness my son swearing in. It's nice to have basically a liaison to help people so they aren't as nervous of what their children are going to go through.
Separation and constant movement are an ever-present challenge for service members and their loved ones. The USO keeps military families strong, providing connection home and events for families and couples.
From the little Christmas events for the kids, or like we had a date night, the USO has given us time, not only together, time with our children, and things to do.
When troops are deployed, the USO provides a home away from home to help bridge the distance. On the front lines, a care package, a phone call home, comfort food, a familiar song, or a moment to relax can mean everything. When their military service to the nation is complete, the USO connects transitioning veterans with resources in their new communities and helps them plan for their next chapter.
We spend most of our time serving the country that when it's time to get out, we're usually behind the curve a little. The USO has come in and kind of get us a leg up on that transition so we can make the best move into a second career.
We are the USO, the force behind the forces. Go to uso.org to learn more.
Welcome back into the Boise State Esports Arena here today for the Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2 Finals. We started with 8 teams from our 6-week Swiss bracket, and now we are down to 4, all competing for their part of a $1,200 prize pool. Again, first place going to take home $600 per team. Second place will take home $400, and third place will take home $200. It's a third place $200 we're about to hand out here between Agamagan and ASVAB waivers in just a little bit. But before we get to the swag, that whole cold hard cash, speaking of swag, we did get some swag here at Boise State from the USO. Baratel, that you get to show off here.
Yeah, I've been handed a very dangerous device. It says cue the confetti. I'll show this to you. I'm very gingerly moving. If I shake this, confetti will go everywhere.
And you have been told if you set it off, you have to clean it up.
Yeah, so I'm going to just gently put this down because there's more. USO sent us a giant can of swag. See?
What's in the can?
We're going to pop it open. Smells like success. Let's see what's in here. I think this, oh yeah, this is a bandana.
Ooh, all right.
Oh, that's, okay. Got a Coca-Cola USO combo. Pretty swaggy.
Look at the B in the middle. You didn't even show the B off.
Oh, that's our B?
Yeah, I hope so. There
now
we
that's
go.
Swag.
That is pretty sick.
All right, let's put this one here.
All right, what else we got?
Ooh, shoelaces.
Oh, okay.
Okay, some USO shoelaces. And
2 pairs of shoelaces. That's a good thing. I thought we were only going to get one shoelace.
We got the goat keychain.
Is it also a can? Oh, no, just a keychain.
I mean, you can try.
I don't know.
It's one of those reinforced plastic. Sure, you can open things. Ooh, and then some buttons. Some goat buttons. You know?
Maybe they're big Overwatch fans. That's the way, you know.
Goat meta?
Goat meta that I know about.
Let me see if there's anything else in here. Ooh.
Some stickers.
Stickers? Or these are tattoos. Some GG tattoos.
You got it backwards there. For the camera. For the camera, you had it backwards.
It is backwards. They're backwards because they go on your skin the right way. But
okay.
that's awesome.
There you go.
There's a bunch of tattoos in here.
Oh, dang.
We're getting inked up. I'm going to try to get these out. They're all the same.
Okay. So, I mean, hey, there you go.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Imagine if that's what you get. I mean, you know, that's pretty cool. Would you? I mean,
GLHF on here.
good luck, have fun. Good luck, have
Can
Batman.
I get some water? I want to put one of these on my head.
I'm not going to condone that.
All right, fair enough. It says Rush B. Was this has to be some sort of Overwatch reference, right, or something?
Overwatch. I mean, you know.
Any tactical
Any
shooter.
tactical game there.
That's awesome.
The League's the only one with an all chat where you can hit them with the good luck, have fun before the
Overwatch
start.
has all chat, I guess.
Which fun story about that while we wait to get into the game. Of course, this is the Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2 supported by the USO. Its members made up the United States Army active or reserve. It's a 2v2 bracket. Again, we started with our 8 teams from the Swiss bracket. We are down to 4. It is a Howling Abyss draft mode. First team to destroy the inhibitor wins. And it is every series is a best of 3 single elimination, and we are down to our 3rd place match.
I'm keeping this bandana.
I'm a little jealous.
You want it?
No, you can have it. I'm not a big bandana guy, but it looks sick.
It is cool.
I'm sad we got so many tattoos and not 2 bandanas.
That's true. There's a trade somewhere in the USO market or something.
Maybe we'll figure out if we can make some agreements here. But here's your pricing, by the way. Again, we have 4 teams left, so 3 of them are going home with some cash.
Oh yeah.
One of them, maybe we can hand them our can of swag as a.
One's going home with a lot of bandanas. We'll say that.
But it's our 3rd place game that we're looking at right now. It'll be ASVAB Waivers taking on Agamagan. We have not seen much of Agamagan. We saw just a brief clip of them while we were waiting for our other series to start between Ooga Booga and ASVAB Waivers. So be excited to see. They came in as the 1 seed. You know, down in that 3rd place match. Didn't quite get the result they're hoping for, but you can still go home $200, Witcher, and you can never complain about that.
True. And it's just for playing a game that you enjoy, you know?
And ASVAB's the 2nd seed. So really it's our 1st and 2nd seeds who...
So completely upset at everything.
Well, to be fair, Ooga Booga was the 3rd seed. So, I mean, you know, that's more of a coin toss than anything
Top
else.
4.
Yeah, exactly. So our top 2 teams from the Swiss bracket playing for 3rd place. And then after that, we'll have Let Carthus Scale, who's our 5 seed, who's been kind of running over everybody.
Yeah.
And Ooga Booga, who's the 3rd seed, playing for that $600. And, of course, loser goes home $400, Richard, as well. So it should be a lot of fun. Curious to see here. I want to see what Agamagan drafts. We only saw the Mordekaiser Yorick,
no
which
more Yorick, please.
we were not big fans of. ASVAB Waivers probably going to try and jam just 80 carry support right down their throats.
Yeah.
I think if Lulu gets through, I would, you know, almost say GG because I think that Lulu pick nearly beat Ooga Booga. So you got to have really good bands here if you're Agamagan as we kick off game number 1.
We'll see what's going to come through. Haven't seen a Tristana Ziggs combo yet.
Should have. We should have seen it. We saw Ziggs Grave instead, which was not quite it from Ooga Booga. Ooh, all right. They think they're playing solo queue apparently.
Well, to be fair, the bowling ball is quite annoying because there's no room to dodge it.
True, and you know the queue hits half the lane. Lilia just an absolute monster, Bambi on steroids in your solo queue games, by the way. Would not recommend. They do take the Lucian off the table, which is they clearly have been watching. And
they've been watching,
that is a good thing to me because I think that means that the Lulu will then be banned here very soon.
Maybe, yeah.
I hope
Because
so.
there's a lot of ADCs that they enable. There's an Olaf ban
Maybe
that works great against Lulu. Can't get turned into a squirrel if you're angry.
ASVAB Waivers is saying, maybe what if we're just queuing top lane?
Maybe we're just they're junglers, right? Let's remove their jungle pool.
Well, unfortunately, both those teams would see more success at the top lane. Okay, there's the Nami, which, sure. But this next ban has to be Lulu.
Yeah, Nami's
Nami's
not the sauce. I'm sorry. Without Lucian,
I mean, even with Lucian, they're 0-2 today.
That's true.
You know, they're not.
It's not based off of draft choice. That was strictly itemization problems.
Okay, the Lux is. I'll take the Lux.
That's ARAM God.
Lux is. I'm surprised we haven't seen her more. I mean, the laser on a 20-second cooldown by the time you get there. Okay, Lulu. This isn't Lulu. ASVAB Waiver wins. Like 100%. Oh. Okay, there we go. At least they took care of the Lulu. I was going to say.
They were listening.
This isn't Lulu. ASVAB Waivers literally would have just won game 1 had they picked it.
Oh,
Karma Senna.
The Karma Senna coming through maybe. We've seen it already.
And
pretty devastating. The root with the root. Not fun.
We didn't get to see much of it, but speaking of not fun, Lissandra Senna bodied Agamagan. Oh, they just steal it away.
Stole the Senna, okay.
Hey, well, you know what? If you want to play Senna Tom Kench?
Luckily, Lissandra's not the most difficult champion to play.
I think Senatom Kent. Just play Senatom Kent.
Just for you, just one time.
It's insanely okay. No. Okay. I don't hate it.
I do.
We've seen worse comps today.
It's great in a 5v5 because your team can like capitalize on it, but in a 2v2, you just make it a 1v1.
Well, depends. I mean, you know, maybe in a 1v1. I mean, in
Caitlyn?
In the death realm, Mordekaiser Caitlyn, I kind of like Mordekaiser's
it's
chances.
not fun for Caitlyn, let
And
me tell you.
Senna can just simply poke down the karma. So, all right.
Why Caitlyn?
What else would you pick, though?
Not Caitlyn. I would pick Varus. I say don't fight them at all. Stay very far away from them.
I mean, I'd
pick Zerath.
I would have picked maybe like a Sivir. You can get the spell shield to at least avoid the root.
You just Mordekaiser's coming. Spell shield, quick.
Well, you also can spell shield the root from Senna.
Yeah.
Because with the way it works, even if you get hit, if you spell shield before it procs, it will.
Too.
Yeah, I mean the boomerangs.
Zaya's a great choice.
It's gonna be very interesting. Well, before we get in, let's take a look at Doc's keys to the game presented by the USO here for this third place match. They are draft wisely, know your power spikes, play around your duo, keep track of those cooldowns, but I think more importantly than that,
15 seconds.
15 seconds.
15 seconds.
That is how long it takes after combat to drop. The reason we brought that up is we've seen multiple players looking for the suicide for the resets that you can't back.
Yeah.
Instead, they just hand over a free kill, a free shutdown, a free double kill to the enemy team because they didn't wait. So 15 seconds to get out of combat. Doc's Keys brought to us by the USO. Since 1941, the USO has been the nation's leading organization to serve the men and women in the U.S. military and their families throughout their time in uniform. From the moment they joined to their assignments and deployments, and as they transition back to their communities, the USO is always by their side. Woo. Speaking of being by their side, let's hop into the game as these two teams will be right next to each other on Howling Abyss.
Here we go.
And I mean, I really just think every team should have been named Ooga Booga. Because that's what these comps feel like.
Some of them really don't feel too inspired, but Comfort begets a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume, same Mordekaiser players we saw in the Mordekaiser Yorick game. You just swap out the Yorick for the Senna. I get that.
At the end of the day, it becomes apparent that some of these players would never be able to, on like an LCS stage, top lane or jungle, where they were constantly relegated to Maokai, to Ornn. Sejuani jungle was like the constant pick.
Yeah.
If you could play those, you're a professional player, but you had to play those champions. Picking your comfort, I respect it. It's a video game, have fun. There's money on the line though. There's a lot of these on the line, okay?
You can't put a price on the Boise State customized bandana.
That's true.
But there is $200 on the line in this third place series. Who's it going to be? Asvab Waivers or Agamagan? And it will be Trauma Brain back on the Mordekaiser. Double exhaust here. Ooh, unfortunately, already a ton of damage going out onto that Mordekaiser. Rudy is going to land onto Python Arms. And
is this Caitlyn from Arcane?
It's Caitlyn from the hit show Arcane.
Is this Arcane Caitlyn? It is. It truthfully is. The Lear, I think Mordekaiser not having boots against these two is kind of asking for punishment, but they want to go with the Rift Maker as fast as they can.
Ooh. Nice 90 caliber net away.
A lot of damage onto Senna.
Yeah, unfortunately, Agamagan could not afford to lose the early poke war because now they're just going to lose all the poke war.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the roots just are not there right now.
They have the whole side of the tower blocked off. The demolish on one of these two. I don't know who
get the double grip in. Oh, Trauma Brain's just deflated into the trap.
Oh, but got rooted out of. That was still in attack range. It had to have been.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was like Mercy?
Maybe Comfy thought he was dead? I don't know.
It had to have been Mercy.
Or he just simply didn't see it.
Yeah, maybe it was like on a different part of the screen. I don't know. But you get that kind of giant circle around you.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Gets the first blood anyway.
That was a pretty Ooga Booga move. Caitlyn running into tower for the kill.
Then immediately flashed out, so
Yeah.
he didn't even take a tower shot.
Another exhaust flash combo. I think that there could be a little bit more intuitive nature to the summoners. Flashing
Python's
into
gonna
range for
flash
the exhaust.
into the tower range to try and, Comfy's going to take some damage here.
Dodge
Python,
the pacemaker too.
Knights on cooldown. You got to be
Looking
careful,
for Senna.
Python arms. Oh, he goes down, but this should be a kill. You can easily kill this. Do you have your cooldown? There it is.
Oh my god.
They've done it. Trauma Rain picks up the double.
The bonk's there. Karma building not AP though. This is going to be, I believe, Shirelia's battle song, which is, I guess, good. Caitlyn getting up the Berserker Greaves. Want to continue the combat stats. I think Berserkers are a pretty, if you're basing on like 1200,
yeah,
it's better than getting like a BF sword, but then again, Noon Quiver.
I mean, yeah, you get 3 gold a second to wait for Noon Quiver. You know, I don't think Mordekaiser Center are not shoving your towers very quickly. As we do get the root,
So
ton
much
of damage already on the Python arm. You will be able to heal some of it up. Of course, those will get a second off the queue as well for every auto attack. Nice dodge there.
It's another fleet footwork lethality Senna though. I don't know.
Yeah, the fleet footwork is where it loses me. The lethality Senna I'm fine with. The fleet footwork is where it loses me.
Yeah, if you're
Especially
going
with the
lethality,
Mordekaiser.
you gotta go like glacial. You gotta even Dark Harvest is a little bit more off.
With the Mordekaiser, I'd love to see Glacial. That lets
Yeah.
your Mordekaiser get in range. Are we going to the Death Realm?
I should have. You would have got the stats. Pull the stats off, Caitlyn. You get so much more attack speed on top of your passive attack speed increase by being Mordekaiser. But you're going to take all his poke regardless.
First tower does go down. The ult from Python Arm. I mean, you've got to go in here at some point if you're Mordekaiser. You've got to get into the Shadow Realm. There it is.
Full karma.
No, I thought he was trying to get in range of Comfy for that. Now,
Tower's gone.
this could simply be second
There's 8
tower.
caster minions. There's a Caitlyn. This tower's not long
There's
for
the
the world.
demolish. Look at the poke. Ooh, the tower does pick up a couple shots. Who has
Those
demolish?
casters, I think it's got to be Revitalize and Demolish on Karma.
It never proc. That was kind of weird. All right, you've got to go in now. Python Arms, there we go, into the Death Realm for Comfy. This should be a free kill for the Mordekaiser. He's got a flash over the trap, though. Valkyrie, we've seen this story before.
Exhaust and the root
gets
are here,
root.
though.
Can he get in range? No.
Hey, your inhibitor is taking damage, friend.
The inhibitor is just getting slapped by the cannon minion. Oh, another root.
This one's going to heal, too.
Senna's now here, but I don't think it's going to matter. Ooh, nice dodge.
Wow. They're going for it.
Oh, the W just misses.
Dang. That's unfortunate.
And I mean, that kind of feels like game, right? The Caitlyn's just going to jam you down and shoot your inhibitor.
Yeah, if you're going to continue to be hesitant about Mordekaiser ult usage, then you're going to lose the game.
Okay, all not even halfway done. Gonna try and jump onto Comfy here. Exhaust gonna go out onto Python Arms. Trauma Range is getting kited backwards. Senna is down.
Bye-bye.
Mordekaiser is going to fall here in just a moment. And the ace is, you don't even need the minion wave if you're ASVAB waivers, even with the short respawns.
All right, game 1.
Game 1. Over to them. Magamagan. They tried, but Mordekaiser just simply could not get in range.
We talked about tower pushing ADCs prior. We forgot to mention Caitlyn.
You know, not as dominant as Tristana, but there's the inhibitor.
Maybe we go for an extra kill for fun. Yep,
Did pick
there
up the
goes.
kill, but the game ended officially. Congrats to ASVAB Waiver on their Game 1 win. This tournament is supported by the USO. The USO strengthens America's military service members by keeping them connected to family, home, and country throughout their service to the nation as a force behind the forces. One more game for ASVAB waivers to pick up $200.
Oh, yeah.
Agamagan going to have to win games 2 and 3, and the draft's probably got to be better.
Don't pick Mordekaiser.
Yeah, the Mordecai. It looked good on paper, but you just got kited.
Yep, and that's something that can be done.
Yeah.
You only got 3 bans. You're not going to eliminate that as an opportunity for their counteraction. So maybe a little bit more intuitive. Maybe Mordekaiser was someone who's combative. Pick a Nautilus with the Mordekaiser. Bring them to you. Pick a Namumu. Make sure that
I
all
think you
magic
just get
damage that you do.
You
What?
just get kited if you pick
You got
Amumu.
double bandage toss. You got the Curse of the Sad Mummy. That passive from Amumu giving extra true damage to Mordekaiser? I don't know.
Just feel, I mean, the one thing Asvat Waver has done very consistently
Also, where's the
is
snowball?
maybe not allowed.
Where's the snowball?
I don't think Snowball has any value.
Where's
here.
Mark Dash?
I don't think it's nearly as good as Ignite or Exhaust or Barrier.
But
Flash.
if your whole if you draft a Mumu, you don't even have to land bandage toss. You just have to land the snowball.
I think with the way Asvat Waivers have been playing the traditional bot lane roles, I think Amumu would just have a very sad time. No pun intended.
Sad in general, yeah.
But we will see. We'll see what the Game 2 draft has in store. Of course, after this, we will have Let Karthus Scale and Ooga Booga in our grand finals. Well, there'll be $1,000 in cash prizes on the line for those two. But right now, we've got $200 to hand out to our third place recipient of the Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2 supported by the USO. We're just waiting for our Game 2 draft and seeing what Agamagan can do to turn things around.
I realize I can do this. I have power.
Ooh, there you go.
Now stay.
The B in the middle is really, I think, what makes that for me.
It's so cool.
Like the rest of it's sick, but then just the B
Turn
swag.
the can of swag forward too. Look, it's all about presenting.
Cano swag. I mean, look. Imagine how many cans of swag you could buy over $200.
At least one.
Probably more than one.
Yeah, definitely more, but at least
You could have,
one.
multiple temporary tattoos.
You have so many temporary tattoos that people think that they're permanent.
Yeah, I mean, you probably wear them for a whole year. People would never know as long as you put them in the right spot.
You really got GG tattooed on you, huh? Sure did.
GG. Rush B would be the worst one.
What does this mean? Oh, it's one of my favorite bands, Rush.
Rush B could be like an alternative heavy metal band. I
Rush
could
B,
see it. Yeah,
like
Rush.
a Rush cover band.
Yeah, exactly. That should be a Rush cover band here. We can take a look at Doc's keys of the game while we wait for this draft, see if there's anything in there to help Agamagan out, and it does look like we have updated it for you, Baratel, because, of course, we've got to draft wisely. You've got to know your power spikes. You've got to wait the 15 seconds.
You got to wait the 15
to
seconds.
let the combat fall. And then you got to keep track of your cooldowns, keep track of the enemy cooldowns. It's not always the ults. It's the littler ones, like the Karma Root, like the Karma Q, maybe like the Nami Bubble. It's the small ones you got to keep track of sometimes. Doxies, though, are presented by brought to us by the USO. Since 1941, the USO has been the nation's leading organization to serve the men and women in the U.S. military and their families throughout their time in uniform. From the moment they join to their assignments and deployments, and as they transition back to their communities, the USO always by their side.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're waiting to see the draft.
I don't think there was like a 15-second grace period in that last game for combat, except a respawn timer.
Yeah, I mean, that was
it was ferocious.
The Karma Caitlyn were in your face, and they were not going to let you breathe. And it's something that Ooga Booga tried, and it did not work against Asvat Waivers. These teams are trying these weird Death Brush strategies, level 3, where your team doesn't have enough CC to Death Brush anyone at level 3.
Get a Leona in there.
Like, unless you're playing like Kha'Zix Rengar, you're not jumping out of a brush and getting a kill.
Yeah, why would we see any Rengars? Now that's
not enough brush.
There's just enough.
I mean,
and if you're alone with a tower, that guy shreds towers.
I was just saying, the big thing would be we've seen a couple times where like the inhibitors.
Where's the Trundle?
No.
Rabid bite the towers with your W attack speed bonus?
I would like the Rengar just because we've seen times where teams have an exposed inhibitor. We haven't seen a team get the exposed inhibitor.
Yeah, where's the Rise Realm War
you
for
just
the back
run
door?
past with the Rengar with the stealth. They're looking for it, and you just hop out and you Q the tower twice, and you're attacking incredibly fast. I mean, there's definitely some fun tower pushing shenanigans, but here we go. Here is our Game 2 draft. We'll see what these teams have up in there. I would assume, I will say, if you're Agamagan, you can save a ban because if you ban the Lucian, I don't think the Nami will get played.
Yeah.
So you can go Lucian, or you ban the Nami, and don't ban the Lucian.
Yeah. Yeah, Lucian.
He's
doesn't
stronger
work
than
as well without the Nami.
Yeah, I think you would probably rather ban the Lucian. I think Nami struggles a lot more than without the Nami than Nami does without.
I love that. That's like a parody. But, like, no one considers Zaya or Khan anymore. No one plays those two. And they're designed with each other. What does that mean?
We're going to find out. We've been told, production is telling us that the teams have said they were doing a casters a solid.
Oh, so they're not picking Mordekaiser. Thanks, guys. You'll thank yourselves, though, I promise.
There's the Lulu.
Okay. All right. They're listening. I think either team can win. It's just a matter of, like, putting resources in the right baskets.
Yeah, and I mean, not trying to death brush level 3.
That doesn't typically work. There's not a lot of level 3 comps that win.
Kha'Zix Rengar, I'm telling you.
I guess if you do it before the minions meet, all isolated damage, sure.
Yeah,
What if they just flash away, though?
Then you got the flash.
Oh, okay.
You could do it again a little bit later.
The classic jungler's paradigm. I didn't get a kill. I used everything, but I did get a flash, so worth?
Exactly. I'll come back when my flash is up.
I won't come back.
I'll come back when my
you
flash is up.
You better win now. I got the flash.
Ironically, when his flash is up, but don't worry, I'll be back again. We get
they have flash, dude.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
they
my
picked
gosh.
the Rengar.
Let's go.
Is it going to be Rengar Kha'Zix?
Well, I don't want to talk about it too much now. If both teams are listening. Actually, no. If we're getting solids done for us, I want both of y'all to fight it out. Level 3 without the minions. Let's go. Bloodbath.
This is.
I respect the Rengar.
I like the Rengar has potential to work if you play it more as like a tower pusher. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh. Good luck touching any towers now. I'm not going to let you know there are 2 champions as a jungler that make me throw up in my mouth seeing trying to gank. LeBlanc and that little midget right there. Heimerdinger is the most obnoxious champion to gank in the game.
Okay. If you're going to play Rengar.
If there's not enough brushes, let's just make our own. I respect this 100%.
There you go. You don't need to isolate him anymore, but yeah, good luck pushing. But again, you get one ace. Those towers are going to just melt from the Rengar.
That's true. You can.
Asvab was going to play Rengar. We've been told Asvab was actually going to play the
Rengar Ivern.
Rengar Ivern, but it got stolen from them, so they answered with Heimerdinger Graves.
That's fair.
You got to answer with Kha'Zix. Is the mini quest in ARAM? Does that mini quest even exist anymore?
It's like post level 16 though.
We saw one game get that far.
Yeah. The first game. It hasn't been that way since.
I was looking up Kha'Zix guides, like, okay, your 4th evolution is R. I'm like, when am I ever going to get a 4th evolution? I can't do it in ranked. Who plays Rengar anymore?
You just insta-pick it. Same thing with, like, the whole Senna Thresh thing, right?
If your APM's fast enough, you can pick them both.
You can do everything.
You can evolve them both. But we will see. Yeah, shout out to both the teams for having some fun here in this 3rd place game. That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
What Rengar skin do they have?
If it's not, what is it? Kitty Cat Rengar? I don't know the official name.
What about Night Stalker, the one that's like...
No.
What?
It's like the...
It's got the hood you can put on.
It's like the 520 recolor skin.
It can put on a hood, though.
I want Kitty Cat Rengar and nothing else. It better be Kitty...
The one that just goes... Rawr,
it better be Kitty Cat Rengar and Dunkmaster Ivern.
Not Candy?
No, Dunkmaster Ivern. Here we go.
Oh.
Here's some replays, by the way. And if you're a Mordekaiser main, just close your eyes because...
You're going to feel pain.
You're just going to you're just going to get kited. It's like you're at the park. You're at a day at the park. You're the kite, and you're just being flown around.
He actually... Dude, if Mordekaiser had a Fitbit on, he would have got all his steps in that game. That guy was running across the map.
They tried, and you got the double kill, and it felt good. But the problem with Mordekaiser is the ult is such a long cooldown.
Yeah, it's not an ARAM ability. I'm sorry.
No, it is kind of because QSS feels so bad to build an ARAM.
Yeah.
But you're all such a long cooldown, you're fighting constantly. They got one ult in that game.
Kinda. It kind of feels bad.
I was really hoping that Azab Waivers was going to go Kha'Zix Rengar, so I'm a little sad if they were going to go Rengar Ivern. I'm not as upset that their comp got stolen.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
If they're going to pull out the Rengar Kha'Zix, I am just a little mad that
just
it got stolen.
A little sad.
Because I really just want to see like a Rengar ult run past everyone, get to the inhibitor, win the game.
I'm down. I'm in.
I love those cheeky ARAM plays.
You also you do actually Rengar Rise. So Rise can throw the minions to the tower. And Rengar can just get there.
Rengar can run. No, we're talking just the inhibitor. You don't need tower. You don't need minions to take down the inhibitor.
They got to get the first 2 towers down.
That's true. Game 2, just around the corner. Can Asvab Waver pick up the win the third place match, or will Agamagan force us to a game 3?
Oh, yeah.
And then don't forget, we've got our grand finals coming up after this with Ooga Booga and Let Karthus Scale. And Let Karthus Scale has looked pretty
Ban Vigar
solid
against that team. I'm just going to let you know right now. Vigar's a ban.
Yeah. Vigar, we didn't, when they won with Senna Vigar, right? Because when they won with
Vigar Nar.
Vigar Nar and Senna
Karma.
Senna Karma and then Senna Lysandra.
True.
All right, here we go.
Ban Senna against them as well.
Ooh, first strike Rengar.
Oh, he wants the
we got
money.
the kitty cat skin.
Is that Elderwood Ivern?
A little
Have you
sadness.
heard this skin?
No.
It's terrifying.
But I'm just sad.
I think it's all of his voice lines in a way deeper pitch and backwards. So it sounds scary. Oh.
Oh, no.
The Bush Wookiee. It's been turned on them.
What's one way to stop a Rengar from being a bush monster?
Put things in the bush.
Plant bombs in the bush.
It's not safe.
Oh, no. They gave it away.
Okay.
And the minions also quickly realized that.
It is support Ivern. Oh, it's the Graves.
Yeah, I'm not,
We'll see if this one does a little bit better.
I was not going to touch that one. Ooh, that's oh, he does jump in on the Valkyrie.
It's happening.
The turret!
It's going. Oh, it's the most frustrating counter.
They tried to have some fun, and Asvab Waver stole their fun.
No, technically not. Asvab Wavers wanted to have the fun.
That's true. Their
So
fun got stolen.
Yeah, their fun got stolen, so they took the fun back.
Shield goes in.
Okay, the bounce
Okay,
back.
look at all of the run.
You guys broke fish.
Absolutely fantastic. I love playing that against this in top lane, by the way.
Against Rengar.
Should not work in lane rush if you're laning.
Yeah, it's no fun.
They just got to hit 6, and they'll probably die, but it'll look cool.
It'll look so cool.
Here we go. Ooh, oh, just dead.
All right.
Now I feel like,
oh. Wait, how? What?
I don't know. That looked way too far. Did he hit him with a smoke screen?
No, there was no smoke on the ground. And it wasn't an auto attack because the
It's
tower
way
would have
too
taken it
long
off.
for auto attack.
Unless it was literally, yeah, that was definitely not Graves auto range. Unless it was a minion just chucking one out.
Yeah, maybe. But why would he have minion aggro under the tower?
That I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll get a replay. Xbox record that.
You just activated so many people's Xboxes.
See if we can get a replay of that afterwards. Is Trauma Brain. You got to hit 6. You just got to hit 6. The Mega Turret is melting him.
Oh, my God. Welcome to Heimerdinger, everyone. This ride is only fun for 2 people, and it's not going to be the people from Agamagan.
I feel like we evaded Agamagan. We would not take any anger out on us. We were just simply suggesting fun.
Well, we wanted to have fun. Asvab took it personally.
Yeah, Asvab took it personally. If what production told us is true, that you stole Asvab's comp, I can see why they brought out the Heimer. I'm not a proponent.
Look at him. He's just standing there.
I didn't like Heimer, and then
menacingly.
I didn't like Heimer already for this alone, and then after his performance in Arcane, I really hated him.
Like Heimer and Arcane.
No, here we go.
It's on the prowl.
Here we go.
All right, go to the inhibitor.
Oh, the flash from Comfy.
Oh my goodness, he's just gone.
He's just dead. Where'd he go?
There's the exhaust. Okay.
And Daisy gets the knock up.
Wait a minute.
And they kill him.
Daisy from Arcane. No. Daisy from the comics.
Oh no.
Sad.
Is Asvab Waver gonna drop a perfect game on him here?
This is Daisy from the Annie origin story. You know, the sister that she killed.
I have not kept up on my League of Legends lore outside of. Okay, just.
You shouldn't. It's very confusing.
Get in there, Trauma Brain. You cannot be perfect game.
You know that Ari is an old man in the lore.
I'm just gonna keep ignoring you and hope the lore stops soon.
It won't stop.
All right, you got to get a kill. You cannot.
You got to. Yeah, you can't get the flawless on you. It's like a Mortal Kombat disrespect move. Okay, go for the jump.
Okay, you have.
They have turrets ready for you to go in. They have 3 of them active. Here comes the stun.
No.
Nice flash. The Mega Turret's been pulled out.
Okay, you
There's the bait.
baited out that. The collateral damage is still up. Oh, yeah. If you cover the turret, it can't hurt you.
True. You can't see in the brush.
Oh, he's going to jump in, but the stun immediately tries to jump away. The exhaust.
What can he do? He's just getting
Nothing.
predicted.
No. Oh, here we go.
They have to.
Can they put
They
yes,
did
they
it!
get one.
Is it worth
Unfortunately, Valkyrie immediately gets shot, gets the kill.
It's Graves.
Graves.
He's 4-0-3 with just armor. Just get him.
I don't know if it's as
There's
easy
no
as
way.
that.
There's no way, dude. Don't worry, Ivern scales.
Oh, here comes Daisy.
Daisy. Everyone's favorite golem.
Can he get the knock-up onto
Oh, yeah.
Valkyrie?
Bah.
Where's Rengar, maybe?
Rengar okay.
Rengar has ult. No, he doesn't. Not quite. Now he does.
Daisy, no!
At this point, I don't even know. Oh, I don't know if you want to kill this Graves. Here we go. Jump onto the Graves.
Oh,
he
the
has
prediction!
Flashing into it, and the Ignite gets the kill.
All
Trauma
predicted.
Brain with the 4D chest, predicting the
Oh,
flash.
there's just Heimer. Did he 1v2?
I think he can. They need to do it now because, by the way, 4-0-3 on the Graves is going to come back with, oh, no.
Oh, no, he did the perfect spread. He did the perfect cast.
Okay, here we go. Can you get him? Yes, you can. Now
and that's a reset on the turrets. That's actually perfect. Duskblade's a great option.
We have
That's a
Tank
full
Graves
shield bow.
incoming, by the way.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Oh,
Rengar.
no, he traded it out. Okay. He had at one point had the Sunfire Aegis.
Oh.
And then he traded it. I was like,
Do it. You won't.
he ended up swapping it for the
Only armor.
Immortal Shield Bow. Again, if Rengar can get in tower range,
Yeah.
this game actually is a lot closer than it looks. But
If is good.
you just need to do that one more time, except all their ults are up now.
Yeah.
And your ult isn't.
No.
So you need to go in. You need again. They did it right. They blew the mega turret and then reset.
Yeah.
They need to do that again. Uh-oh.
Oh, Bush
I don't think the Graves is the
turrets in
right
here.
choice. The exhaust is going to go out onto Heimerdinger. The
That's
exhaust is going to go out onto Rengar. They just don't have enough damage.
That's a full tank Graves there, actually. Rooted under tower. Shield will be popped. Almost gets knocked up.
Daisy. Oh, not quite.
Bye, Daisy.
Whoa, what are we? All right, Rengar's up, though, and he has ult. This is his last chance
He's
for
gonna go for
Agamagan.
Graves.
He's got to ult, get to Graves, pop the Ignite. Here he comes. Bam.
Jump into the
Can't get to the
minions.
brush. No, he can't get to the brush. Oh, he got the kill. Oh, unfortunately,
Come on, Ivern.
Ivern is alive.
Ivern, run.
The wrenches are
I don't know why
being.
he's not using his turrets to hit this inhibitor. Use your big move.
I don't think it matters. The minions are going to do it.
Whoa!
The minions are just going to win the game.
Winions!
The Winions are going to win the game here. Oh, the wave comes to reset aggro. Here comes Rangizi.
Oh, we got the slow.
Can Rengar get
Whoa,
there?
the dodge!
Get there, Rengar! Yeah!
Oh, he missed.
There we go. He got it.
Okay.
No, save,
Oh, he timed
no,
the tower.
the turret
No.
still.
You love it. You love it and you hate it.
Oh, no.
Can Graves backdoor?
No.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe. He's got a PF sword and an immortal shield bow.
He's got so much armor. I don't know if Rengar can even burst him before he
Maybe
can take down
with
the
his
inhibitor.
ult. Oh, he's gonna walk into this. No. Oh, ooh.
He's
Ooh,
watching.
Oh.
End of the line. Oh my, there's too much armor.
There's just too much. Oh, he thought he had. If he waited just a little bit longer for the ult.
Gotcha. All right, up to Ivern yet again.
So the
Yeah, 2v1 now.
The 8-3 Heimerdinger is inbound. Here comes Daisy. Knock up. The minions are going to end this game before Rengar gets there, unfortunately.
Goodbye, friendo.
The turrets will do it as well.
That's it. That's all.
Rengar, can you get there? No. Pop the ult, Rengar. Run him down. I heard the kitty cat jump, but it did not matter. But ASVAB Waivers are your third place team here. in the Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2 supported by the USO. So they will take home $200 for the team. Woo! You could do the math pretty easily there. Maybe they had a coach, but I would assume it's just $100 each player.
You got to have the coach for that next level draft.
Yeah, I mean, but again, congratulations to them. Agamagan, a big shout out as well. I like the fact for the third place game, game 2, we were having some fun with it. Maybe some comp stealing from the casters,
Yeah,
but
what the heck?
hey, it was fun to see. Congratulations to ASVAB Weber, and a reminder that this tournament is supported by the USO. The USO strengthens America's military service members by keeping them connected to family, home, and country throughout their service to the nation as a force behind the forces. And you can also check out Battlefy.com/the USO for more upcoming esports and gaming opportunities. We've already had the invitationals. We've had the Madden League where we sent a couple players to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I saw the
super
videos
cool.
from that. That one was
a hype.
looked like a ton of fun.
Oh, let's go.
We had, I want to say, Gronk spiking some Xbox controllers for some dudes. So it was a ton of fun.
Whoa.
Absolutely fantastic to see here. But congratulations to ASVAB Waiver at the end of the day. And now we got the real grand finals here. Our first place match between Let Karthus Scale and Ooga Booga.
Ooga booga.
I mean, Let Karthus Scale has not lost a game yet. They've looked pretty strong.
That's true. Ban Vigar.
Ban Vigar, ban
Senna.
And then
Whatever.
whatever you want
Whatever
for
you
your
want.
third option here.
There are also 100 and some odd other champions that we haven't seen. Just so you guys knew that. I don't know.
There is 157 or something champions in League of Legends, and we've seen maybe 12 today.
Yeah. That's okay. We'll see the rest of them in this one series, right?
And the fact that we've seen a Yorick, I think, is probably the
Not for long.
hey. But we will take a break. We come back. Who will take home $600 in the first place trophy here in our Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2 supported by the USO? We will find out after this break.
Do you think we can do it like James Bond style?
Yeah, only one way to find out.
Dun 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 dun. I made it! I made it! I made it!
Yes! Did I get it? Yes!
Well done.
We killed it!
It feels great to be able to give back to the community of active duty and veterans.
And of course I went on the USO's channel!
A strong America is a force for good in the world, and the strength of our military is paramount to that mission. Wherever they go, the USO is there to keep our service members connected to everything that gives meaning to their service: family, home, and country. The USO is trusted to support our service members on all 7 continents. With more than 200 locations, home for our troops is as close as the nearest USO center or program. The USO provides critical programming, connecting with service members and their families millions of times each year. From the moment they swear an oath, new recruits are welcomed by the USO's family of staff and volunteers.
I'm here to witness my son swearing in. It's nice to have basically a liaison to help people so they aren't as nervous of what their children are going to go through.
Separation and constant movement are an ever-present challenge for service members and their loved ones. The USO keeps military families strong, providing connection home and events for families and couples.
From the little Christmas events for the kids, or like we had a date night, the USO has given us time, not only together, time with our children, and things to do.
When troops are deployed, the USO provides a home away from home to help bridge the distance. On the front lines, a care package, a phone call home, comfort food, a familiar song, or a moment to relax can mean everything. When their military service to the nation is complete, the USO connects transitioning veterans with resources in their new communities and helps them plan for their next chapter.
We spend most of our time servicing the country that when it's time to get out, we're usually behind the curve a little. The USO has come in and kind of get us a leg up on that transition so we can make the best move into a second career.
We are the USO, the force behind the forces. Go to USO.org to learn more.
Welcome back into the Boise State Esports Arena. We've been here today for the Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2s, and now it truly is the 2v2 finals. We started with, I believe, about 15 teams in a 6-week Swiss bracket. The top 8 advanced to today, and now we are down to our final 2, with ASVAB Waivers picking up that 3rd place and that $200. And there's still $1,000 on the line.
Yeah.
We've got Let Karthus Scale taking on Ooga Booga here in our grand finals.
It's going to be interesting. I think the most comp diversity we've seen has been from Ooga Booga.
They live up to their name.
They embrace the name.
They
and their mascot.
They completely
Just Jungle SpongeBob.
Ooga Booga their team comps, and you and I look at it like, but they're here. They've got a chance. Again, it is going to be on Howling Abyss. It is first team to destroy the inhibitor will win.
Yeah.
And every series is a best of 3, so you've got a chance to maybe turn things around if something goes wrong in the first game. Maybe if you're really out of luck, you listen to the casters.
Get your comp stolen,
Get your
win
comp
anyway.
stolen. We should have suggested Scion. That would have been fun. We really want to see how the Suicide Scion works, or the Inting Scion works in this.
It doesn't matter if you die, because you're just doing it anyway. You're
just
not
need
using the champion fully, unless you're utilizing
full
your
ability
passive.
haste and just try and ult as many times as possible. But there was $1,200 in prizes up for grabs when we started the day. $200 again have already been handed out to ASVAB Waivers, so we will see who takes home. $400 for second and $600 for first place. If you win, do you buy a skin for the champion? Kind of, like when you win.
Like the world
Like
skin,
when they win
respect.
Worlds, they give a skin out. Like if you win, let's say, we'll just say, for example, let Karthus Scales win. They played Vygar Gnar in the first 2 series. Do you buy a Vygar skin or a Gnar skin?
If you don't own all of them, yeah, 100%.
Don't believe the Gnar had a skin in the one game we saw of it.
So he's got.
And the
he's
Senna
earned
didn't have a skin either, and they played a lot of Senna. So maybe that's what you
Lysandre
do.
didn't have a skin either.
Okay, the Lysandre skins are all awful, so just you save your money.
That's not true.
Here are the rules for the RB Esports Community League of Legends 2v2 supported by the USO. It's made up of United States Army active or reserve members. 2v2 bracket. Top 8 teams advance to today's bracket play. And then, as we said, Howling Abyss draft mode, best of 3, single elimination. We are down to our final 2 teams. It is the 3-seed Ooga Booga taking on the 5-seed Let Karthus Scale. And
I'm excited. I'm surprised we haven't seen a Karthus yet, though.
they keep banning Soraka like it is Karthus, and then they just are like,
I guess there's also something to consider. If you're in Vygar Cage and you have Soraka's silence in the ground, you're also just useless, too.
The Soraka might be a pick, but here's how the bracket worked out. Again, we did see ASVAB Waivers take down Agamagan in our 3rd place game just before this, and now we'll see who we crown as the champion between Let Karthus Scale and Ooga Booga.
Yeah, the real Proving Grounds winners. You remember Proving Grounds?
I do remember Proving Grounds.
Great mode.
I am excited. The 2 teams that came with logos ended up in the grand finals.
Respect. One is clearly the better logo.
The Karthus logo, that looks like it is an emote in League of Legends.
It is.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But hey, you got to put some customization to your team.
I like the SpongeBob.
It fits the team name
I'm
perfectly.
very impartial, yeah.
It does fit the team name. But we'll see what the draft looks like. Again, I assume that if Ooga Booga has been paying attention, as you said before the break, ban Vygar, probably ban Senna.
Yeah.
And then
whatever.
Lulu maybe. Again, I think the Lucian Nami is a bait, but we'll have to see.
See if they took notes.
Everything on the outside's a ban. Everything on the inside's a pick. And let's see what game 1 has in store for both these teams. And again, just a solid choice. It's
that champion's
any mode
crazy.
that has a ban. Banning Aurelia is a fine pick. No one will ever flame you for any of it.
They shouldn't, if they know it's good for them. Also Yasuo, too.
Yasuo Diana would be a very fun comp to play.
In this? Yeah.
In this.
That's true. You hate Yasuo, though.
I do hate Yasuo, but I'm just saying, like...
But also money.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to flame you too hard if you got to play what you got to play, but I do think if you, again, I haven't looked up the roles of these players. I know for Azab waivers, they were bot lane players. You could play. Actually, I want to say Ooga Booga is a mid jungle player. You could do Dionyso. That is,
fair, yeah.
you know, before the durability patch, that was a very strong mid jungle duo.
Ooh, a Zoe ban. You do whatever you got to secure the bag.
Yeah.
Really, is what it comes down to.
And it's interesting because these are just, you know, again, we didn't see the bans for Let Karthus scale in their series against Agamaggan, but these are more.
There's no Soraka ban.
Ziggs is up, Soraka's up, Tristana's up.
I don't think Soraka's a very Ooga Booga champion.
Vigar's up, Nar's up. There's the Senna ban at least for Ooga Booga.
They gotta ban the Vigar. I mean, it's there's so many opportunities. You can do Vigar Ziggs, the Satchel. You can throw them into the wall.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you do
can
run the
just
risk
do
of
your ult on it.
AP item, magic resistance.
Who's gonna build MR and ARAM?
We saw a Warmog's Vigar.
We saw Warmog's Vigar because Vigar scales infinitely. We saw a Hex Drinker and that didn't work.
True. We do get the Ari banned in. So some very interesting bans for Let Karthus scale. They clearly, because this is not.
These are not Ooga Booga picks that we've seen so far.
Yeah, we have not seen Ooga Booga come anywhere close. I mean, we've seen what? Annie Jarvan and AP Nasus
Jace. Yeah.
Not close to the Ari Zoe. Zoe, I understand the trouble.
Yeah, those are champions that require tact. Ooga Booga has not shown that with their champ picks. They've won, which is awesome. But they picked a little bit more simpler champions.
And I also just don't. There's the Vigar ban, so they did listen to us. And I also just don't think that Ari's very good in this mode.
In this mode, no. Because she's all about isolation, right?
And she's all about, like, I'm just going to CC you with a charm, with Everfrost, and then let the rest of my team do the damage.
Yeah, and her Spirit Rush gains huge amounts of benefits when it's a 5v5.
Yeah, when people are dying.
When people are dying, you get the extra charges.
Same with Zoe, right?
You only get the 2.
You get summoner spells. You know, when there's 20 summoner spells versus 4, you do gain a little bit more if you're the Zoe.
There's
but the
Gnar.
Okay, so what do you pair with the Gnar now?
Nothing. That's a terrible idea. Anivia. I think Anivia works really well. You actuate your Gnar by getting both the Blizzard down, that big AoE slow, the stun's great, the wall you can throw people into. What I am worried about, though, is the Gnar build, because we saw last time Fleet Footwork, which was
there's why Talia kept being banned, by the way.
I see. Oh, my God. It's over. Pantheon stun makes Talia win. You can't dodge the knockback if you're stunned.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you probably got to play.
And Gnar can't jump into anything with all these rocks on his feet. His tootsies are going to get ripped up.
I mean, you probably have to play, what, Ezreal?
You can't play a melee, I don't think.
Yeah, no. I mean, in Ezreal, at least you could. Does it work like it does with Blitzcrank, where if you arcane shift as you're being stunned, you're stunned, but you're further?
I'm pretty sure you can buffer it, but you can do the same thing with Tristana as well.
Okay.
Okay, or you can make it so they can't move at all.
Or you make it so they can't come into you with the Petrifying Gaze.
That's fair. Answer their zone of danger with your own zone of danger.
To me, the Gnar really feels out of place here.
Yeah, but it's a comfort pick, clearly.
True. I don't know. I'm not sold on the Talia. I personally think in a mode.
Just you wait.
In a mode like this, picking an ult that does 0 damage to me feels like a waste.
So Nami ult?
Nami has not won a game today.
So yes.
You know, and at least Nami ult does some damage. But I think you need in ARAM you need that level 6 power spike. You don't. I will say for Ooga Booga, you don't have that. You do not have a level 6 power spike where for Let Karthus scale, you do have 2 ults that are valuable.
I will give one benefit of the doubt to the 2 that are drafted from Ooga Booga. Pantheon's Grand Skyfall, great range. Talia can follow that same ulti up from the same range. So as opposed to thinking that you're safe, they got X amount of time until they get to lane.
True, it does
These
prevent
2
the
are dropping
suicides.
from both the land and sky. Like Navy's SEAL Team 6 coming through, you know? With the ground forces there.
Paul Revere have to ring the bell if they're both land and air.
Can you imagine if Paul Revere was on a helicopter instead?
The
British would have never made it. The British are coming. The British are gone.
We will see here who picks up our Game 1 win. Will it be Ooga Booga, who, again, really have fit the name. This just is an Ooga Booga comp. We're going to just try and slam our buttons down and hope everything sticks, versus Let Karthus scale the more intricate comp. But we will find out. Before we do that, we got Doc's keys to the game. brought to us by the USO, which are draft wisely or just draft to your shtick if you're Ooga Booga.
Sure.
Know your power spikes. Wait the 15 seconds, which, as Barretzel pointed out, could be harder with the Pantheon Talia. You might say, oh, I got time.
Yeah.
They might just appear there and then keep track of those cooldowns. It's all brought to us by the USO, who, since 1941, the USO has been the nation's leading organization to serve the men and women in the U.S. military and their families throughout their time in uniform, from the moment they join to their assignments and deployments, and as they transition back to their communities, the USO is always by their side. Game 1 around the corner here. $1,000 in prize money to be handed out. $600 for first, $400 for second. Who will it be?
Money.
And of course, the $300 already handed out to ASVAB waivers. Will it be Let Karthus Scale, or will it be Ooga Booga?
I don't know. It's tough.
I
think in like perfect execution, both these two teams have power, right?
Yeah. I think I lean towards Let Karthus Scale again because I just favor. They're called ultimates for a reason, right? And in a limited mode where there's the map's not, objectives don't matter.
Right.
I like the teams that ults do damage. Of course, Petrifying Gaze not much, but it does provide something. Whereas I'm just going to throw a rock wall at you, and it.
What I will admit, and you had mentioned, highlighted kind of the greatest adversary to Ooga Booga's comp is dashes. Cassiopeia does not have one. She's not a very mobile champion.
Yeah, that is.
She is that kind of hunker down.
Oh, here we go.
Let's go.
Oh, the Gnar. He also looks like can buffer it. There's that rock combo you were talking about. Now the Pantheon is grounded, and I don't think that worked for Ooga Booga.
The new Talia worked ground is actually a huge boon on ARAM because there's not a lot of space to move. You get a supreme amount of benefit for casting in worked ground. You actually get bonuses to, you get that big rock by throwing rocks out from a worked ground area.
I will say, I don't think Repel's gonna, or Rept, sorry, like an L. I don't think Rep's gonna be able to get in range from this Cassiopeia.
No, not without taking a Petrifying Gaze. But then again, Pantheon has that whole I'm invulnerable from one direction thing. And again, without having a dash, Cassiopeia can't reposition too greatly.
Unfortunately, all the poke is right now favoring them. I think it's going to be...
It's another double exhaust flash. That's like my biggest criticism to Let Karthus Scale. Yes, it's worked for them this entire tournament, but at some point, there's got to be some more creativity within that. Especially against this team, Cleanse would be paramount for keeping yourself alive.
I would be curious to see the if that is a mana flow ban on that Cassiopeia. To see if maybe you're building more mana, because that is her one limiting factor. Of course, you can't just spam all your mana away, because that's going to allow them to poke in. So that'll be something to keep an eye on.
That miasma is going to be dirty too. Armor on the Gnar immediately too, just to stave off most of this damage from the Pantheon. It's not going to do too much though against the Talia.
Talia did recently get a bit of a damage nerf. Here comes Gnar, Megaform engaged. No alt stun is going to land onto Alexander. Has to flash away.
That's a good sideways flash. Duris tried to predict a flash straight back towards the tower, but pretty good wherewithal there for Alexander to dodge upwards with the flash. But, I mean, we did say that Cassiopeia doesn't have any dashes. Talia does also not have any dashes as well.
And now it's level 6 on Let Karthus Scale, and look at those health. There it is. Petrifying Gaze. This should be first blood, but they get knocked
goes the other
back
way.
in. No!
Well, you did flash under tower.
Oh no!
It's a bit of a sad moment, yeah.
Now if Duris can build Rage, ooh, nice jump
nice
away.
Buffer, yeah.
Duris,
okay, gets the third
one.
stack.
Can he get there in time? Just needs to Gnar Alexander, but he gets knocked away. The Gnar hasn't been cast yet. It will be used on the minions to just kind of damage them a little bit.
Well,
close.
Yeah,
Oh,
close.
he's going to jump on him.
Gonna
The
get the
stun
stun.
does land.
Oh, he gets Mini at
but
the worst
turret-
time.
Exhaust falls. Here's
The
the Grand
Grand
Skyfall you
Skyfall.
were talking about. Exhaust is going to go out onto the Pantheon, but I don't think there's a fight you win, unfortunately, Rep.
No,
Here
you're.
comes Cassiopeia, the poison. Cannot get in range. And
The
so
problem with the Pantheon Cassiopeia matchup is she is a machine gun, whereas Pantheon's kind of a front-loaded, having to reload champion. Once he's done his whole combo, he's got to just sit there and auto, and it's no fun for him.
the machine gun versus bolt action.
Exactly.
Yeah, the bolt action might hit hard, but then you got to do a lot of work to hit hard again. And Cassiopeia is just smashing the E key.
Got the pen coming through. Gnar probably going to end up going that Divine Sunder yet again, and we'll probably end up seeing Eclipse here from Rep. Only question is, what AP Mythics do these two build?
Probably just, I mean, it's probably Leandri's for Cassiopeia if I had to guess. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just free damage.
Stacking it.
I mean, I think his Ludens would be, I mean, make the most sense. You just want to have your burst damage be available as the first comp for
Right.
Booga. But yeah, and Leandri's on Cassiopeia is, again, just going to fit into that whole narrative of it's just a machine gun. And Pantheon's
Damage
just
over
burning.
time, yeah.
Maybe you get a demonic embrace as well, and you're just you're walking away as they're taking damage.
And you're healing on it too. You have that full Conqueror very easily. Almost gets the Gnar there. Still had Hop though.
Conquer, really the only thing that limits Cassiopeia, honestly, in the overall scene of League of Legends. He does not have a great
Keystones are
keystone.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, she really is hampered by the fact that
Phase Rush is okay, but once it peters out, you're useless. She already gets so much of a
you get
move speed boon
speed
from the Q and the slows from the W.
yeah, so
It's like bad.
she just needs something.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you could land
First
poison
strike.
reliably. I mean, Airy might be something. I know Airy's seen a lot of use on Teemo with the poison, versus rock multiple
Go
times.
for the
So they're
fight.
trying to jump onto it. Petrifying Gaze
Pantheon
is
can't
up.
W.
Exhaust does go out, and they die before the gaze goes through. There's Gnar into the wall for Duris, though. Should be able to pick up a kill. Jumps away. The rock is blocked.
He blocked the rock.
Oh, huge. Winions. Nope, the heal.
Okay, that was pretty slick, the rock block. I like that. They're going to be able to cash in. They actually go with Crown of the Shattered Queen, making it so they can't get burst within that initial combo.
That's exactly why they just died. I mean, the Petrifying Gaze was up. If you are
Couldn't
able to
use
get
it, yeah.
that off, you probably win that fight. First tower will fall.
The only problem is Talia and Pantheon have great Q range, and they can easily pop this bubble.
Yeah, especially the empowered Pantheon.
This is when you get Banshee's Veil on top of it, just to protect your life, right? The double bubble comp and say, no, I won't take damage if I don't want to.
So they can look for a re-engage here.
Pantheon's almost got full W, and he's got PTA, so that's actually opening up a lot of the extra damage on whoever gets the W on.
Has been broken here. Oh, Pantheon is so low. Alexander's probably going to
Goodbye.
go down. Pantheon.
Oh boy. I don't know about that.
Not the play you were looking for. It looked like they wanted to maybe try and save their teammates.
Not the same page, it looks like.
No. And this should be first tower for Let Card the Scale now. And maybe more. Again, you have to be careful. Grand Skyfall. And
The Weaver's Wall, yeah.
Yeah, so you at least can get in range. You cannot just suicide in mindlessly.
There it
There's
is.
The Weaver's
It's going to be
Wall.
the rejoin. And the Grand Skyfall behind it.
There it is.
That's the combo.
They do
Not
get
in
the
unison,
jump.
but just enough.
Can they get the Petrifying Gaze off? No.
Well,
Ooh,
that's the
nice
difference
snipe.
maker. He gets the Luden's proc on it too. That's a chunky boy.
So I'm curious, you know, and maybe they just never thought they had an opportunity that It's Me That's OP save that Petrifying Gaze again.
Yeah, I don't know why they're holding on to it.
I mean, maybe it's a spectator's bug and it's down because that's the second time now they've, you know, probably could have used it to burst a kill and instead do nothing with it.
They're trying to like use it with. They're trying to like use it like it's a Vigar cage, and they only want. Oh, sorry, they only want to use it when the rage is up from Gnar, but you can't. You have to use it to start or protect yourself from the fight.
the crown even gets popped there from the poke from Talia, so it's going to make this next fight even harder. Maybe they can find a way.
That worked there's a great catch.
Stops, but unfortunately the stun's still going to land. Cassiopeia full
Get in there,
stuck. One picked up. Can they find the Talia? The rock lands. Just pick it up and throw it again.
Oh
no.
My gosh. Here we go. You know that Talia was taught by Yasuo?
That makes me like her less.
I know.
Oh, the poison.
They're just... It's so close!
Oh, the rocks are tickling.
The heal!
Oh, the dodge.
Minions! Oh, go pushing. Oh, not in the tower range. Okay. I thought that hitbox was just in enough range. They're just going to feed off each other's minions.
Oh, the rock does land.
We got another one ready.
Can't find her here. Pantheon's just going to get the kill. They bought so much time that they just died to Pantheon.
That's yikes. That's a yikes.
They get the Seraph's Embrace, so a fully stacked tier is converted. Now, unfortunately, Duris has to survive for 15 seconds with no tower.
Does have his own ulti, though.
He's got to build rage. He's got to attack. Pantheon's
He
looking
has
for
to
the
fight.
kill. Ignite goes out. They want this inhibitor. Pantheon's dropping lower. Mega Gnar, is it going to be enough? It's got to be used. Nard into the wall. The stun. The rock is blocked. Here comes Cassiopeia. Can she get here in time?
Slither on in. Got the, you got the extra speed.
Oh, you got to attack Pantheon.
Whoa.
The minions.
No. Barely gets it.
But I mean, it's over, right? Pantheon
Yeah,
just going to
Pantheon and Weaver's Wall will just end the game.
It's over. Pantheon and Talia are just going to get in range and ult over. I mean, the inhibitor will slowly regenerate, but I don't think fast enough.
Now, it's not neither of their ults are global, and Miasma can stop them from both casting or continuing with the ult. That means that Cassiopeia has to go like full frontal to get vision of them ulting behind enemy lines.
I think if you're Alexander, you pop the Weaver's Wall now to distract, and you let your Pantheon, because all Pantheon has to do is get behind Gnar.
How about you just, as Talia, wall behind them so they can't go back to stop the Pantheon?
Like if I'm Pantheon, I just jump right now. Like just jump.
I think as Talia, you cut them off. You like die by walling them off. Pantheon just,
here it goes.
Here it goes.
She missed the miasma.
Oh no.
There it is. Nard,
but they didn't stop the
Nard
quite yet. But it doesn't matter. No health on this inhibitor.
There it is. Rep has done it. The miasma missed by about an inch. Ooga Booga will win game 1.
Yep.
We talked about it with the Rengar. It ends up being a Pantheon who ults behind enemy lines to pick up the win here. This tournament is supported by the USO. The USO strengthens American military service members by keeping them connected to their family, home, and country throughout their service to the nation as a force behind the forces. So game 1 goes to Ooga Booga with a very
pretty convincing
Ooga Booga comp.
Yeah, true.
And again, it just comes down to they pushed far enough that they had the ults to just simply go over everybody.
Yeah. That Miasma didn't miss, though. Different story.
But I think the Weaver's Wall still might have got there. And Gnar...
Talia versus Gnar alone?
The inhibitor only needed one auto attack.
That's fair.
Talia didn't have to 1v1 the Gnar. She just had to run from the Gnar.
Yeah.
But... all right, now what do you do if you're Letcar at this scale? How do you respond to that? What do you pick? I mean, your Vygar is going to be banned.
I was going to say, if your Vygar isn't banned, I
banned.
don't know. Doesn't look like there's a lot left in the tank.
Yeah, I mean, the Gnar, as you said, probably a comfort pick, so...
Zyra Ash.
Maybe.
I'm telling you right now, it's Zyra Ash.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I think we have not... I mean, we have seen Duris play Gnar. And... I don't remember if he...
Karma.
I think Karma, and then he was the Senna, I believe, in the second game.
Guys, play Zyra Ash. Trust me.
Well, the last team listened to us, but again, there's only $200 on the line.
The last team listened to us.
To be fair, there is only $200 on the line here. You lose, you get 400. You win, you get 600.
Right.
So, maybe it's worth listening to the casters again. But we will have to see what Game 2 has in store. I mean, it looked like Letcar at the scale was unstoppable, and then...
they just got stopped.
Ooga Booga just
went over their heads.
The enemy can't know what I'm doing if I don't know what I'm doing. It's Ooga Booga them.
Can't read my mind if I'm not thinking at all.
Here we go. Here is our Game 2 draft. The teams will switch sides. And we'll see what... I mean, this is probably going to go Karma, Vygar,
Senna, yeah. They spelling something.
No.
No.
There's no vowels in that.
Well, we haven't seen what they've banned yet.
There's the Aurelia. I mean, I don't think bans are really going to change.
No, probably not.
Let
Although Talia might be banned. It's been banned before.
It's been banned. It has been banned a lot against Ooga Booga in particular. Again, maybe that was what they played a lot in that Swiss bracket. Maybe that's kind of why teams are targeting that down. But yeah, maybe you ban the Talia. I mean, again, this has to be Vigar or Senna. Yeah, it's going to be Senna and then Vigar. Yeah, I think maybe the Talia.
What do you
but
draft though?
you've got to pick something that works with Gnar, right? I mean, because it really does seem like Duria's champion pool is
Or
Gnar.
you just
and
take off the Gnar.
what does he play? I mean, he's only
I
playing.
don't know.
His 3 picks are Gnar, Karma, and Senna, and 2 of those are banned.
Yeah.
They banned the Pantheon.
Okay.
I mean, I can honestly see Ooga Booga running it back too with the Jace AP Nasus, depending on the call.
That's fair.
Because I mean, again, you're playing into Gnar. If you land those Shock Blasts, Baby
You're
Gnar is
tick him
gonna
into.
take.
Yeah, he's gonna make him mega without his own desire to be mega.
There's the Vigar ban.
Rip.
So I doubt you ban Talia. I don't think you just ban the whole comp they just played.
No.
Especially because they've shown to play other comps.
You can play Zeri.
There's
And if they
this-
pick with Weaver's Wall, you just ride the wall to wherever the Talia is.
Potentially. We end up getting a Zoe ban, which is interesting. Not a champion we've seen a whole lot. I think her usefulness in ARAM is limited. There's not a lot of walls.
Not a lot of walls. The
turrets,
walls that you can
basically
get
turret.
through are nowhere near where people walk.
Exactly.
You can like do the long wall from base to like the middle of the lane, but no one's there. No one walks there.
Yeah.
But when you pull it off, you feel cool.
What is the pick? I do think we have seen a lot of teams do well with the double pick. There's the Swain, an absolute menace.
Yeah, his ult goes forever. They played Swain Aurelia.
Oh, okay.
Evidently.
Very Ooga Booga.
Swain is a Ooga Booga. You turn on ult and you just run at people.
With Aurelia there to stun. Yeah, Swain is a menace right now in
Everywhere.
Summoner's Rift as well. He is
too strong.
So there's the Gnar.
Okay.
Which, I mean, we knew that was coming.
Yeah, but what do you play now? What could work? You just play Yasuo.
There's no knockup.
Yeah, Gnar works. The Gnar ult.
1 knockup.
Yeah.
There's a Swain. The Swain will just heal all.
Same thing with Diana. She only got 1 knockup.
Okay, how about Morgana Gnar?
Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know how this will work.
I mean, if Morgana gets ahead early, gets her Leandries, and you just root W, I mean, they're going to take a lot of damage.
Your percentage of Q hit rate is also your percentage of winning the game.
Yeah.
If you don't land any Qs, you're not winning.
I mean,
now, as someone that plays, you could play like Samira if you really want to be like that person.
Ooh, how about
Samira
Swain Kindred?
Okay. I'm scared.
This comp doesn't even make sense.
Welcome to Oonga Boonga.
This Kindred will ult, and then Swain won't kill anybody.
Yeah, but he won't die.
He's already not dying. He's healing.
That's fair.
Oh, maybe
Also,
so
you can get knocked out of the Gnar ult.
You Kindred ult while Swain's building his ult damage, right?
Oh,
and then
okay.
as soon as the Kindred ult fades, you explode.
Yeah, but then also Swain has Zonias, so his ult continues to build while on Zonias, so it's just massive.
Yeah, I'm not a...
His bird feathers just block out the screen.
How do Kindred stacks work in ARAM?
It's just on kills. So you have to... Luckily, you only have 2 choices. You 50-50.
Yeah, that's my only problem is you know, you don't have great chances to stack Kindred.
Yeah, you'll get like maybe 10.
10 is lucky, but here's our some of our replays from this game number 1 here, and again, it just came down to a couple times they just could not quite finish off. I mean, this is the play that changed the game, right? If Alexander
this damage is insane.
if he goes down at any point, this game is completely different, and Ooga Booga might be against a deficit, but they end up kiting him out for 30 seconds, 40
That's
seconds.
a long time. More than 15.
It's just, and then, I mean, it's just so long that Pantheon respawns.
There's also some questionable lack of petrifying gazes here too.
Petrifying Gaze is on cooldown for this clip, though.
Right. but in an earlier fight, they sat on 2 team fights worth of opportunities and didn't use it.
Yeah. So very interesting to see what will happen between these 2 teams. But again,
Kindred's
I don't
strong.
like the synergy here with the Kindred and the Swain.
Let me tell you, there is no synergy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But then again, that hasn't stopped Ooga Booga in the past. So we will see.
I'll admit that Kindred, despite being clearly made to be a jungler, does have some power in the bottom lane. And also, in history, Swain has also seen some power as a support in the bottom lane.
In history,
We've
right now.
never seen them
literally right
together, ever. We typically see, like, Kindred and Taric, great combo. You just, like, don't die when you don't want to.
Yeah, right.
And then adversely, Samira, Swain. Those passives work so beautifully
Swain,
together.
Yasuo.
Yuck. Disgusting. But, yeah, there are clearly ones that have seen more synergy in history's time. I've never seen these 2 in a lane together, so we'll have to see.
I'm just worried about the fact that
there's so much there's so much crowd control within it. I mean, Kindred's got the big slow, right?
Yeah.
Swain's got the root that can then pull whoever. I mean, they're just going to probably bully whoever Kindred's target is on repeat.
Again, I think as you pointed out, if you're
it's a very Ooga Booga thing.
If you're a Let Karthus scale fan, you know, just count how many dark bindings hit. If that number is probably 60%, your team's probably going to a game 3. If it's less, $400 richer, but you're not the champions.
If it's not 50%, you are not winning.
Yeah, 50%.
Because your W doesn't do it. You don't have any other CC.
Well, here we go. Game 2, potentially our last game.
I'm going to let you know the team fights are going to be spicy, though.
Versus Ooga Booga, and I do have good news for you. That is not Double Flash Exhaust. It is Flash Ignite.
They did it.
For its
They're
speed, its
learning.
OP for Let Karthus scale.
They are learning. Going right for Duris.
They jump right on Duris. There's the root. We talked about this, though. Third stack going to proc. Duris has to jump away. He has the Ignite on him as well. Both summoners blown here, and wow. That is some damage.
He didn't even land all 5 of his blasts. Just one Eldritch little missile.
This is not what you wanted for Let Karthus scale. Uh-oh.
Goodbye.
Good die. First blood.
Was that a stack, though? Production, can we confirm if that was a stack or not, Overwatch?
I mean, yeah, you said 50-50. It
I
looks
want to
like
see if that was a Kindred stack because they just reasserted onto Gnar.
Well, it does go on cooldown after you pick up a stack, so I would be led to believe that was a stack.
Come on. The shield is the black shield's good against Swain, but he's got so much damage he can pop it relatively easily. There's another one.
Should be able to just jump with the lamp and fight.
I feel like you can't go like toe to toe. You just have to keep chipping away with dark binding.
Yeah, because if you stand in the Kindred W, you're gonna get that proc plus the PTA, and it's not gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, Wolf heals an incredible amount if you're sitting in there too. It's kind of crazy. Oh.
Bubble, oh, here comes Gnar. Oh, the rock
Nice
still
rock.
landed even with the jump away.
It's the house this time. He does have an R scan.
I thought he did. Doesn't have the nighttime Gnar.
A little Dino Gnar.
Okay, I'm gonna jump onto Gnar. One more attack is gonna do a ton of damage. Black Shield does land, has to flash,
into fermented soil!
Dark binding. And now Gnar, unfortunately, doesn't have the rage. Swain doesn't have level 6, so it's a double kill for Let Karthus scale.
Yeah, nice turnaround. Both on Morgana, who wants to be accelerated into that powerful Leandries. Wait, no! You didn't wait 15 seconds!
It's in Doc Keys.
It's in the keys of the game. What are you doing? I don't get it. It's a long time, sure.
It
Especially
is.
in the game of League of Legends, 15 seconds feels like a lifetime. But also, you just gave away a kill.
To the Swain.
To It was Swain.
I mean, I'm not sure who you'd rather have
Neither.
that kill. Yeah, neither is probably the correct
Okay.
answer. All right, if I want to go in here, though, ults
got
are
the
up for
ulties.
everybody. Nara has to jump away. There is the Swain ult, but as well as the Morgana ult. Dark Binding blocked by a minion.
Over.
Unfortunately,
Demon Flare down.
could not get
They've
in range.
staved off the wave, and it did take the chain, but the shackles, if you will. But I think it's worth it, and so far, that percentage for bindings secured is getting higher.
And that was going to be the difference maker in this game.
Yeah, whereas Swain's never moved, it's just not landing right now.
Here comes Gnar. Can he get a Gnar to the wall? Yes, he can.
Kindred
Rep
ult.
immediately going to pop the Lamb's Respite, but it's going to fade, and they couldn't even move that entire duration.
Yeah.
That was stun into probably level 4 binding.
It's got to be leveled up, yeah. You don't want to go Tormented Soils here. You want to go for the burst.
Yeah, you want to get the longer route more than anything.
Right. Keep them in place and far away from me, please.
Yes. And we talked about it again. It was number of bindings hit is how you determine the win chance here for Let Card the Scale, and so far it's quite a bit.
Minions don't count, though. Got the root, got the pullback. Kindred's got Kraken Slayer, too.
Kindred will do a lot of damage very quickly.
With the PTA and the Ignite on top. It's just unfortunate they got stuck in their ult there.
PTA plus Kraken Slayer.
Whoa.
The only real downside here is, you know, Kindred becomes playable when you hit that
You get like
3-stack
three
bar.
stacks, yeah.
6 is usually ideal because right now you don't have the attack range to compete with Morgana, to compete with Baby Gnar. Rep needs to find a way, I mean, 1 kill, so 1 mark most likely. Dark Bind
There's another one.
land. There comes Morgana all. They do pick up 1 kill. Rep has to flash away. He will fall, but it will be Swain.
It's Swain, by the way.
Just going boom.
It's the Swain for me. No demolish this time. Gets first tower regardless. Wait. Count. Alexander.
Like
Almost.
I think they're trying to get this tower. Oh, they're actually.
Almost. Okay, you can die now.
There
Wow.
you go. Gets us down to the minions picking up a kill. Played
Smart.
that one really well.
What do they build? What are you building? Ah.
Leandries, Ludens.
Build anything. Swain's just powerful.
I don't know if he has enough cash for a straight up mythic considering he only has an amp tone
Yeah.
and a tier.
You go like lost chapters into finished boots, maybe? Or you go banner of command, which I.
Imperial Mandate.
Sorry, yes.
Interesting choice.
Not banner command. I wish. If only.
Looks like it will be a trade of towers though, as Let Cart the Scale has also picked up their own turret. Now with as soon as Mega Gnar fades, if I'm Ooga Booga, I think this is when you go in.
Have to, yeah. They popped the bone plating too. Wolf was able to bite it off.
he
Gnaws
gnars.
down. He gets stunned, but in line of sight, doesn't do anything.
Swain ult is not up for another 15 seconds, so Rep's got to be the main source of damage. The ult
Soul
from Morgana
Shackles.
is going to come out. Can Rep break it? He has his own ult. He'll pop the Lamb's Respite. It'll barely save Swain. Duration
got
ends up
ulti.
not walking into it.
There's the
Flash
Swain ult.
forward.
Demon Slayer? Still healing. Morgana has no cooldown. So sad.
And Duris defend. He's going to have Mega Gnar. He's going to have Flash, Exhaust.
Doesn't have ult though. Used it already.
I think he can still pick up the kills with both if he's able to proc his Gnar.
He's gonna retreat, take health packs, and fight with Morgana when they're alive. Or try to proc it now.
Org is up. Oh, this
Nice view.
Kindred is so low.
Kindred needs a pop wolf
Here
here.
it
Yeah,
is.
here's the Mega coming through.
He doesn't have any abilities. He does land the stun. And throws the house right into Kindred's face to pick up the kill.
Kindred cashing in, going for probably Collector next. in half HP. Can't hold off on their own.
Does not
Nice
have
dodge.
the ult.
Oh!
Duris. Duris.
Oh, no!
Duris.
Because he walked away from the tower, the distance reduced the damage.
Now he's basically useless in the next fight.
Yeah. Popping Mega will only get him barely healthy status.
Oh, Kindred wants
Kindred's got the mark. She needs to get the stack.
Exhaust is proc. No, Gnar, you can't give him the stack.
Oh, he's not.
Oh, there it is.
No. That's a stack. Probably up to 3 now.
Probably is the 3 mark that
Production, can we get a confirmation on Kindred stacks, please?
3, I mean, feels right.
I think it's 3 or 4.
Well, this is the last chance for Let Cards to scale. They're going to respawn here.
Okay, it is at that 3 stack
That
mark.
is 3. That's what he needs.
He's got the Divine Sunder though on the Gnar.
All right, just the inhibitor left
Half
alive.
HP.
You've got to get a kill here if you're Let Cards to
Everything
scale.
but Soul Shackles and Lamb Respite are up. They have the Swain ult. They have the Gnar ult.
Ooh, Dark Binding
Oh
misses, but it
my
might
God,
not
so
matter.
much damage.
Here's Mega Gnar. Not even procced. You got to get in and save your buddy here.
Oh, out of range. Just walked it out. That's the brown bags versus boots 2 difference. Nice dodge. Soul Shackles will be used.
And they save the Mega Gnar. They save the Gnar.
They still have the Gnar ult. Lamb's Respite will be up for when Swain's alive. I don't think they try to use it beforehand.
Not unless they get dived on.
If they get dived, they force maybe Morgana to go down if they try to dip out from under the ult. It's a lot of health. Pretty healthy wave for pushing too. Wolf will be here trying to get it to pop bone plating. Won't do so. Has the collector though. May just have to give this tower up and fight with Swain on inhib. Get rooted. Damage coming through. Everfrost rocking him in place more.
Here comes Swain. There's no Swain ult though, and the Mega Gnar is almost up.
Black Shield is down. That's a huge cooldown.
You gotta go in at this point.
Gnar's about to build though. They're teetering on this edge of whether or not they go in, whether or not they have the power.
They're playing the
They're
range
trying to
perfectly.
Pop. If they pop, I think they need to try and force Gnar to go Mega and then back up from the fight.
Gnar's
just going to go in anyway.
There's the left.
They're going to be pushed out of the ult.
The Gnar can red-kite him. Yes, he can. This is game.
That's it.
There you go. Ooga Booga. Well, Ooga and Booga their way down the mid lane. And they will pick up first place here in our Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2 supported by the USO. The inhibitor will fall. Woo. There it is. Let Carthage Scale will come home with second place and $400, but it is Ooga Booga who are your winners and $600 richer now.
Worth it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even getting pushed out of the Kindred ult, it's just said, I can
I'm just going to
outrange
kite you,
Yeah.
and I have Kraken Slayer plus PTA. You're just dead.
You're gone.
Let's count to 3 real quick. We don't even need to count to 4 like Jin. We just count to 3. Well, the USO is offering so many great opportunities to compete in esports and gaming, like the one we just had where they supported that. We also have seen the USO Invitationals, the Madden League, sending players to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
And this year has had so many more and will continue to as well. For more information on upcoming events, go to battlefight.com/theUSO for more details.
We did it.
I mean, we didn't do anything.
Oh,
Ooga Booga
we
did it.
We had so many tips and tricks.
The only team that listened to us lost.
That's not true. Both of those teams listened to us. One just got their comp stolen.
True. But again, congratulations to everybody who participated, all of the 8 teams that started the day, plus the other teams from the Swiss bracket who didn't quite make it. But at the end of the day, it is Ooga Booga, Let Carthage Scale, and ASVAB waivers in that order, taking home first, second, and third, and their portions of their $1,200.
Oh, yeah, moolah.
They didn't even have to play normal League of Legends. You could play ARAM, so it wasn't, you actually probably had fun playing League of Legends to make $1,200.
Imagine that.
That is a very tough time. The fact that the USO pulled that off is really more impressive than anything.
True, absolutely.
People had fun playing League of Legends.
Yeah, we look forward to the next one.
Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, we didn't really have a meta ever form outside of, that we knew that Let Carthage Scale was going to lock in that Gnar.
Right.
We aren't done yet. We do have our player of the game for the night. Who do you think it's going to be?
Rep? I'm going to put my vote on Rep.
I'm going to go, was it It's Me that's OP?
I'm going to stick with Duras.
I was going to go with It's Me that's OP. So despite Let Karthus losing, we both picking players from that team to be our player of the game. We'll see who it is going to be.
Duras stuck to their guns. They played Gnar whenever they could.
Duras played Gnar every game except for games where Senna was allowed. And here we go. Our player of the game is Rept. You should have stuck. Doesn't count. It doesn't count when you change.
I don't always want to be right.
It doesn't count when you change, but Rept picking up the player of the game. Brought to you by the USO.
Boom.
Doing fantastic job. I mean, the
He
AP
didn't know he was AP.
Nasus.
Yeah, what the heck?
Absolutely fantastic.
Don't look at this.
They pulled out the AP. Jarvan, I mean, creativity. Rept was definitely your player of the night for sure.
Bing, bang, boom, bye.
Flash forward, slap him around.
Try to go for the other one. Almost die.
Big congratulations
Flash under
to Alexander and Rept for Ooga Booga taking it home. Don't forget, since 1941, the USO has been the nation's leading organization to serve the men and women in the U.S. military and their families throughout their time in uniform from the moment they join to their assignments and deployments as they transition back to their communities. The USO is always by their side, just like Rept was by Alexander's side as they ran it down and took out the inhibitor there.
GG's, as we can see from our new tattoos.
GG's.
Rush B. But you know what they say.
Huge congratulations to Ooga Booga. That's what we say.
Yeah.
Fantastic job sticking to their guns. I don't think ever played the same comp twice.
No. They Ooga Booga'd their way to W's.
Okay, man, we didn't see their their quarterfinal game. We did see they played Swain Aurelia. Maybe they played.
Right.
We don't know what they played in that other game, but from what we saw, what we know, never an identical comp for Ooga Booga. A huge congratulations to them. We'll bear tell as we wrap this one up. Your thoughts on what we saw here today in this League of Legends 2v2?
Hey, as you mentioned, any format that can make League fun and brings it into the spotlight, I'm on board for 100%. 2v2s, maybe the mythical 4v5 that we were supposed to have happen. We'll see how that goes down. I'm excited.
No 4v5. We just simply misunderstood Koba telling us that it was the 4 versus 5 seed, and both you and I thought, wait, why is it a
4-person versus
our
5
first
people?
game is our first game? What do you mean?
Yeah.
But it was the 4 seed versus the 5 seed. But congratulations to all of our teams. A big shout out to everyone participating. Ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for the show tonight. Before we conclude with our USO Top 5, we do want to give a major thank you to all of our competitors here today, and, of course, the competitors as well that participated in the Swiss bracket. I'm sure a ton of fun, as you said. Can't wait to see the next one. Be sure to follow USO on Twitter @TheUSO and join the USO Discord, discord.gg/TheUSO. That's it for us from the Army Esports Community League of Legends 2v2 Final, supported by the USO. Make sure to follow us here on Twitch to keep tuned with the exciting future content that's coming. You're not going to want to miss it, but until next time, we'll see you later. Pantheon's dropping lower. Mega Gnar isn't going to be enough. It's got to be used. Nard into the wall to stun. The rock is blocked. Here comes Cassiopeia. Could she get here in time?
Slither on in. You got the extra speed.
Oh, you got to attack Pantheon.
Whoa.
The minions.
No. Barely gets it.
But it's flag and drag onto Graves, of course. Flash forward, but not enough in the tower. Gonna put Andy on the flag. The exhaust goes out onto Kofi. He does pick up the kill, does reset the Dark Harvest, but he could potentially be dead. The Jarvan whipped. The Jarvan just whipped. He split the upright. He couldn't put the land. Tidal Wave comes out. Exhaust gonna go on Illusion during it, trying to build this Narvar, picks it up, and now they have a chance to jump onto the Nami. Gnar into the wall, but it didn't quite get the stun. It's not gonna matter though. This is a dead mermaid. They pick up the ace. Now they gotta push though. They gotta push.
They have to push. This time they cannot. Well, if this is all they can do, if we just stop it from happening, we just win.
By USS. There's the Eclipse picked up from Senna, by the way. Best case, probably hoping. There's the ult. There's the Tristana jump in, but the Senna survived. The ult barely fails to kill Malzahar, but it does not matter. Karma picks up the double kill. It does give you a bit of life steal, so maybe he is realizing the poke's going to be a problem. He could have got closer to finishing that Kraken Slayer. That 950 goal. He's going to dash forward. Rep nearly gets taken out. Has to be very careful. Knockback into Power Rage exhaust. Goes down. The cooling does not matter because the